Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Eternal Life Game, My Life is Strengthened. Chapter 41, 7 o'clock in the morning the next day. Lee Mumu opened his eyes with a thud. Can't sleep. Can't sleep at all. He is young and holds a huge sum of money with a lifespan of 300,000 years. How can I sleep? Tell him how to sleep peacefully. Moreover, his normal offline physique has reached 800,000 points. No fatigue at all. Went downstairs for breakfast. A cup of soy milk lasts 5 minutes. Let's have 10 cups. The main idea is that a person is physically strong enough to be able to digest whatever he eats. I was drinking soy milk and thinking to myself, should he change places? Hey, who do I think this is? Isn't this a little piece of wood? Yellow hair, lip nails, doo-doo shoes. There were too many factors, so Lee Mumu quickly searched his original social circle. Hey, don't tell me. Found it. Former goddess, Li Xiaochen's best friend, Wang Nan. It's the kind of male best friend who goes on a date with Li Xiaochen for dinner and sits on one side with Li Xiaochen while Lee Mumu sits on the other side alone. Eating Lee Mumu's food with Li Xiaochen every day. After finishing the work, he also said, "Oh, our Xiaochen is so outstanding, Xiaomu, if you want to chase our Xiaochen, you have to put more thought into it." Search completed. Lee Mumu didn't even bother to raise his eyelids. Xiao Mumu, what's your attitude? Do you still want to chase our Xiaochen? When Huang Mao Wang Nan saw Lee Mumu's attitude, he immediately became unhappy. When I met him alone before, this guy was like a licking dog, buying himself cigarettes and water. How dare you ignore yourself today? He is indeed a stinky loser, bah. Dao Mao, who are you? Lee Mumu held the soy milk straw in his mouth and glanced sideways at Wang Nan. If it were in the game, I would have killed you long ago. People kill people in the real world, but they really die. And it won't lose its lifespan. So it's not necessary. You stinky loser, how can you talk? I must tell Xiaochen that you will never catch her in this life. When Wang Nan heard this, he was surprised that the former little errand boy in Big Liquor dared to talk to him like this. His tone was trembling with anger, and he pointed his finger at Lee Mumu, but what he said was the same old saying that had not changed for hundreds of years. Do you still want to chase our Xiaochen? It's so funny, why don't you chase me? Pursuit of pursuit. Lee Mumu is a fun person. Suddenly I felt that this kid had bullied the original person a lot before, so it wouldn't be too much to get some interest. You just called me a loser, right? That's right. Why did I say something wrong? I didn't even urinate and take pictures. What do you think of me? You still have the nerve to chase after our Xiaochen. It's so funny. Wang Nan didn't think there was anything wrong with what he said. In the past, if Lee Mumu did anything he didn't do well, he would scold him directly. Lee Mumu didn't dare to fart. When she turned around, she had to apologize to herself under the pressure of Li Xiaochen. He has long been accustomed to treating Lee Mumu like this. Lee Mumu showed Wang Nan a standard 8-toothed smile. Raise your right hand to make a grasping gesture. Hee, remember to go to the hospital early. Hold the right hand tightly. Gotcha. A dozen chickens and eggs. Wang Nan's expression suddenly changed. The pain was so huge that even before he could scream, his brain ordered him to go into forced shock. Call 120. Someone has epilepsy. Lee Mumu fished in troubled waters and returned home. I looked at the dilapidated little rental house. Find some time and find a different kennel. After all, you have the conditions. It's better to be kind to yourself. After saying that, he put his consciousness into the tattoo. Eternal life start. The body disappears from the real world in an instant. Suck. Phew. The air in eternal life is still fresh and smells of freedom. Lee Mumu after logging in. First open the friends list. Sister Ching and old Madonna Beshu are both there. But not before Lee Mumu sent the message. The news from Sister Ching was sent first. Washui Street, come quickly. Okay, my sister, come right away. After Lee Mumu replied to the message, he started his 350 million engine. Whoosh. Disappear into the crowd. Washui Street. It is also a well-known commercial street in Mobe City. Well, the main thing is a mixed bag of everything. At this time, the three of them had arrived in front of a mysterious shop. Say it first, she's just accurate. Beishu led the two of them to a shop called Poop Divination House. Otherwise, why else would we be looking for her? Li Mumu gave the old Madonna a roll of her eyes. This is not nonsense. Ahem, anyway, just remember her accurately. After Beishu finished speaking, a hint of imperceptible embarrassment flashed across his expression. Then he opened the door and took the lead in walking in. Li Mumu and Bai Li Qing followed closely behind. After entering this divination room, Li Mumu raised his eyebrows. The perfume smell in here is too strong. It's almost like spraying air freshener on your face. Shoo shoo. A little bean curd dressed as an astrologer and wearing a super giant mage hat. After seeing Beishu entering, he transformed into a meat bomb chariot and rolled towards Beishu. Then he rubbed randomly in Beishu's arms. And accompanied by a silly laugh of, hee hee. If he hadn't known that Beishu was a man, Li Mumu would have regarded this little doubting as a pervert. Wrong. Precisely because he is a man. This little doubting is really perverted. Watching Beishu pull the little bean apart with great effort. At the same time, Beishu's chest was soaked with unknown water. Let me touch, let me touch, let me touch. Little doubting, who was held in Beishu's hand, was still struggling. Ji Yi, stop playing. I've brought you guests. Beishupi said with a smile. The struggling Xiaodu Dingji tilted his head one by one and saw Li Mumu and Bai Li Qing who were at a loss behind. Ahem, put me down. Ji Yi's eyes flashed with a cold light as his feet touched the ground again. There is a flaw. Ji Yi pounces. Beishu ducked out of the way and punched the brain in the face. Beishu smiled. His squinting eyes were completely invisible, but at this moment, he felt a cold light piercing his eyes. Now, can you work hard? Ji Yi covered the bulging bump on his forehead with both hands, his eyes wide open, water mist filled them, and he spoke aggrievedly. Can. After finishing speaking, Ji Yi returned to his divination table. Are you clear about my rules? Unclear. Ji Yi listened one by one, and sure enough. Shoo shoo, baby, didn't explain it clearly to others, so she brought someone here. Hey, first of all, you need to understand that there are many methods of divination. Coffee fortune telling, have you ever heard of it? It's about fortune telling based on the coffee residue after drinking. I know this. There are similar tea fortune tellers in the East. Bai Li Qing nodded in approval. Ji Yi nodded silently, eyes half opened. And I'm different. I'm a poop fortune teller. Ha 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 ha. Ji Yi stood up and put his hands on his hips. The pride in his tone are self-evident. Ha. Li Mumu and Bai Li Qing looked at Beishu at the same time. The meaning in that look was obvious. Are you kidding us? Beishu turned his head and looked at the trinkets in the divination room. Hey, this little thing is quite cute. Hey, aren't you surprised? Ji Yi was very dissatisfied with the two people's reactions. You shouldn't be shocked. Then he said, wow, Husai Lei. The Golden Wood Society, shouldn't its original name be called the Weird Human Containment Center? Li Mumu complained about the fake mother-in-law and the old virgin Beishu. Now here comes another Tsunere loli shit fortune teller. What kind of beauty is your purpose of making the world a better place? Hey, how do you know? Brother, I am very optimistic about you. Do you want to join our Jinmu club? Ji Yi sat down and poured a cup of black tea elegantly. She looks a bit like an elegant young lady. But when she thought about having to analyze the situation by looking at the shape of her stool, she suddenly felt unworthy of elegance. Thank you, I refuse. Li Mumu quickly refused. He just wants to be a wall hanging, and he has to be so strong that he is abnormal, but not really a abnormal person. I told you, she's just accurate. Beishu rubbed his ear hair in circles on his fingers. But defecation is too personal. Bai Li Qing bit her lip, showing a rare hint of girlishness. It can be whoever you two are. Beishu thought for a moment. Hear the words. Bai Li Qing stood up immediately and walked out. Just tell me the results of the divination. Hey, Sister Qing, what are you doing? I won't keep it private if you keep it private. Li Mumu swears. He never considered it. Show others what you have. But think about this seriously. It's really private. And it's not the hospital kind of test, just a small piece. It depends on the shape. What's the difference between this and streaking? I'm constipated. Bai Li Qing spoke coldly. It doesn't matter, I have Kaizalu here. Ji immediately took out two dropper-shaped golden yellow liquids. At the same time, the little head was slightly raised, with an expression like, "I'm awesome, please praise me. Do you want to die once?" Bailey Qing stared at Ji Yi with her eyes that seemed to be burning. The long flame hair on the back began to dance in the air because of the hot air generated by the high temperature. Like a burning flame. However, high temperatures can also cause perfume smell in the air to evaporate quickly. Li Mumu relies on his super high basic attribute points. Be the first to notice something is wrong. Sister Qing, hurry up and accept your magical powers. I will do it. Li Mumu pinched his nose and shed tears of humiliation. There is no way the attributes are too high. The five senses are too sensitive. At this moment, he understood Superman's pain. After a while, the entrance to the poop divination house. Li Mumu walked out with a hesitant expression. The world seems to have lost its luster. Puff. Bailey Qing swears. She really just couldn't hold it back. Dare you laugh? Li Mumu roared. This is all because of who? If I hadn't helped you with the job transfer mission, we wouldn't have been picked off by that old bidden. If we don't get picked, we won't go to the dry bone forest to level up. If we didn't level up, we wouldn't have met Beshu. We wouldn't have come to divination if we hadn't met Beshu. If we didn't come to fortune telling, we wouldn't be woo 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 woo. Seeing Li Mumu like this, Bailey Qing couldn't hold back and laughed out loud. Then he hugged Li Mumu, patted Li Mumu on the head and said, "Oh, little Mumu, be good, don't cry, sister will take you to eat something delicious." Really? Aren't you constipated? Are you going to eat or not? I just finished having a bowel movement and I'm a little hungry. Don't disgust me. In the end, the three of them did not choose to eat now. After all, the next step is to exchange information. If we go to the dinner table to communicate, the information we just got will always feel a bit dirty. So what is the result of the divination? Beishu asked expectantly. She said I was a little mad. Who wants to know this? Tell me the key points. Bailey Qing was impatient and punched Li Mumu on the head. Laughing to death, there is no way to break the defense. Tell me one by one. The person behind the scenes is in the Sakura Kingdom's mission, and his status is not low. That's going to be difficult. Beshu spoke. What, is there a custom in the game where Fuzai comes? Li Mumu looked at Beishu, his eyes were crystal clear. That's not the case. It's just because there is no such rule in the game, so other people's missions are strong enough in their own right. Harm, what do I think? I'm an enemy. I'll take off his clothes. Li Mumu stood up confidently. Little Sakura, I can go alone. That person is good at using formations. Have you figured out how to solve it? Bailey Qing spoke abruptly. Get to the heart of the conflict. Li Mumu was really not afraid of that person in a frontal confrontation. But others are determined to run away. How to deal with it? Right. Li Mumu crossed his hands and placed them on the tip of his nose. How to do it? Bailey Qing turned into a copycat, but his eyes were looking at Beishu intentionally or unintentionally. Li Mumu watched Bailey Qing's movements and stared at Beishu. How to do it? Beishu looked at the two of them, his eyes showing confusion in his sincerity, clarity in his confusion, and stupidity in his eyes. These two people are such trash. Why? Beishu sighed. Beishu lowered his head. Beishu compromised. Actually, I don't want to get involved when it comes to the mission. So you really have a solution? Li Mumu's eyes lit up and he immediately turned to Beishu. Brother Shu, don't be disgusted with me. I'm not sure if it's possible. This person may have a way. Beishu pushed away Li Mumu, who wanted to act coquettishly. Forget about this little lowly poo, what about you, this big bear poo? You are indeed worthy of Brother Shu, who has great supernatural powers. Haha, when I'm useful, I'm Brother Shu, and when I'm not, I'm old Madonna. Hehe, Brother Shu, you have a lot, don't argue with the younger ones. Li Mumu complimented humbly. But let me say it first, I don't guarantee it will work this time. Beishu first vaccinated the two of them. After all, it is Sakura's mission that we have to deal with. If others don't have any ability. When he first came over, he was secretly solved. Instead of walking all the way to Mobe City smoothly. Know that in this eternal life, it is very different from the real world, the map is extremely vast. And there will be no ubiquitous surveillance. And there are basically no legal restrictions. As long as you have the strength, you can do whatever you want. So in fact, there were several groups of people who attacked the Sakura mission. But none of them came back without being killed. Harm, what did Brother Shu say? The person you introduced. Absolutely. Right. Depend on. Spectrum. Li Mumu gritted his teeth and said. Brother Mu, don't do this to me, I'm afraid. Beishu felt a chill running down his spine after listening to Li Mumu's words. Nonsense, this ruthless man is a man who can hammer the King of Knights to the ground. How can I not be afraid of my small body? Li Mumu put his hand on Beishu's shoulder and squeezed it intentionally or unintentionally. Don't be afraid. The worst I can do is bring you back for a divination. Or you can go in and do a divination now to see if this person is useful. Ahem. Beishu pretended to cough twice and took the opportunity to break away from Li Mumu's clutches. Brother Mu, don't worry. This man is known as a police dog. There is no one he can't track. But. Li Mumu hugged Beishu and wanted to pinch him to death with his armpit hair. But what? Don't tell me, what kind of police dog is this? His hobby is to eat poop in order to track him, and he still wants me to poop. It's not that bad. It's just that this police dog is very difficult to talk to. Not everyone can touch him. Beishu quickly explained. If they don't explain, their Jinmu club will be rumored to be a shit club by Li Mumu. Hey, if it can be done, you have to give it a try, little Beezy, let's go. Li Mumu waved his hand and decided to set off. Old Biden, I will never let you go this time. The Jinmu Society has their own contact information. After a while, Beishu led them to find the so-called police dog. Well, in a custom bar. It's early in the morning, and I've already started drinking. Well, maybe it's because the party last night hasn't ended yet. As expected, there are no normal people in the Jinmu Society, and Li Mumu's stereotype of the Jinmu Society has deepened. Beishu pointed to one of the bars, indicating that that person was the target of this trip. Li Mumu looked over. Only the back of the police dog was seen. Wearing a mink coat with wavy patterns, he looks tall and tall, with a white round head and a lightning symbol shaved off his ear. She bowed from left to right and held a young lady with a big wave in one hand. First impression. Social big brother. Second feeling. It really shouldn't be easy to communicate. The three of them approached before Beishu could begin the introduction. Jinliang. Bailey Qing frowned. How could it be him? The big man with mink skin heard Bailey Qing's voice and followed the sound. The moment I saw Bailey Qing, I felt like I was stuck. Qing. No way. At this moment, Li Mumu had a bold idea. This scene is so familiar. Beishu, who didn't understand the situation and didn't know how to read the atmosphere, spoke. It turns out you two know each other, so things will be much easier to handle. Bailey Qing didn't care so much, and the burning eyes and hair state was activated. Death to the scumbag. Ding. The password was correct, and Li Mumu's eyes suddenly turned into cat-like pupils. There is indeed a future for me to hang out with Sister Qing. I can't finish the melon every day. The police dog sidestepped and slashed away from the oncoming enemy, shouting. Beishu, you know what you did to me, why didn't you say you brought this ant? You didn't even ask. Beishu spread his hands and said it was none of my business. Bailey Qing continued to furiously attack the police dog. Raise the knife and sweep across, the sword energy is vertical and horizontal. The police dog ducked down to dodge. King, if you have something to say, please tell me. I have nothing to say to you, you scumbag. Li Mumu quietly ordered a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice and looked at it leisurely. I thought you were a match. Beishu was holding a glass of watermelon juice and sipping it in small sips. His bright eyes and white teeth made people want to kiss him. Li Mumu shook his head. Get rid of this dangerous thought immediately. He is a man, he is a man. Don't talk nonsense, be careful if I sue you for slander. Our Sister Qing is known as the collector of scumbags. I don't dare. Beishu's eyes lit up. Are you afraid or don't want to? I don't dare and don't want to. Are you afraid to think about it, or are you unwilling to dare? Hey, where's my knife? Ahem, Brother Mu, just kidding. Beishu quickly held down Li Mumu's raised hand and blinked his big innocent eyes. Okay, I've seen enough drama, I'm going to break up the fight. Li Mumu drank the last bit of orange juice in his hand, clapped his hands, and stood up. Snapped. A snap of the fingers. The power of those who control mind power is fully unleashed. 25 trillion telekinesis power, activated. Wu Zu's passive does not take effect when he is not attacking anyone. The two people who were fighting fiercely were instantly frozen by Li Mumu. Li Mumu, let me go, I'm going to kill him. Bailey Qing struggled, trying to break through Li Mumu's mind control. Pity. It's no use at all. Looking at Bailey Qing's burning eyes, he couldn't tell for a moment whether it was anger or a special effect of a skill. How can it be? The encounter revealed Bailey Qing's intimate knowledge of Li Mumu. The police dog was shocked. How could there be such a control skill that can be activated silently and instantly? Hey, what on earth did you do to our sister Qing? Li Mumu ducked to the side of the police dog. Although his eyes are full of gossip and thirst for knowledge, his attitude is sincere. He was so curious. Bailey Qing is known as the god of war of pure love. I have met several exes before, and Li Mumu has also seen that Sister Qing has various emotions such as shame, regret, indifference, etc. But there was no one who allowed her to draw the sword without saying a word. Li Mumu's gossip radar told him. There is a story. Humph, why should I tell you? The police dog was disdainful, although the man didn't know what method he used. You have controlled yourself, but will you be convinced just by doing this? Haha, naive. Yo, tough talk, I like it. Li Mumu said that he just likes these tough-talking people, otherwise how can he resort to tricks? Release the restrictions on Bailey Qing's telekinesis. Go to hell. Wen Jinliang. Bailey Qing released the restrictions without any hesitation and went all out. The maximum output power of the burning sun blade. The space around the blade was burned and slightly distorted. Things that are slightly closer are directly vaporized without even a burning process. Just as the blade was about to cut off, the mink coat on the police dog began to burn. Stop. Aren't you asking me to do something? I agree. The police dog gave in, but not completely. Because he knew Bailey Qing would use tracking charms. You can't just die once and spend 10 years of your life running away. After all, I taught Bailey Qing this skill myself. But eating your own food? Humph, no way. Snapped. Li Mumu quickly restrained Bailey Qing. What are you doing? He already agreed, why are you still controlling me? Let go. Bailey Qing glared at Li Mumu. Hee, aren't I afraid that you will get too involved in the drama and make it real? Li Mumu smiled and lifted Bailey Qing's restrictions. You saw this scene. Police dog Wen Jinliang still doesn't understand that he is being plotted against. Yes, Li Mumu and Bailey Qing plotted against him. Just now, Li Mumu seemed to be drinking juice and watching the fun. In fact, I have been communicating with Sister Qing in private chats with my friends. It's true that Bailey Qing wanted to kill the police dog. But not to the point of losing my mind. So when I saw the police dog for the first time, it was true that I wanted to kill him. Later, when the two were in a stalemate, Li Mumu quietly asked why the police dog was so afraid of her. Although Bailey Qing did not explain clearly what the reason was. But he also told Li Mumu that this scumbag did not dare to let himself leave a mark on him. Otherwise, there will be no good life in the future. So the two of them took advantage of each other. Hey, man, keep your word. HMPH, don't worry, you don't have any credibility at all, and my police dog doesn't need to be around anymore. Outside Mobei City. It seems that this mission does have quite a problem. Chu Go stood on a cliff and spoke with a telescope. Are you sure you saw clearly? Is she really here? The pheasant looked solemn, and rarely quarreled with the god. Well, I had an investigation mission before and I met her from a distance. I'm sure it's her. Chu Go put away his telescope, his expression gloomy and scary. The owner of the only profession, the king of 100 demons, Aki Sasaki. Click. Due to excessive anger, the telescope in the hand of the dog was crushed to pieces. What? You are going to get the Sakura mission? No, no, no. The police dog heard the group's plan. Suddenly it was messy. Staring at Beishu resentfully. I regard you as a good comrade of the organization. Is this how you, a good comrade, were assassinated by me? Close the door and let Sister Qing go. Hey, don't, let's agree first, I will only be responsible for tracking the broken formation. The police dog quickly gave up. Whichever is the lesser of two evils. Compared to offending the Sakura mission, he was hunted down by the only profession. He was even more afraid of being chased by Bai Li Qing. This woman is sick. Don't worry, brother dog, you don't need to take action, I will handle it by myself. Li Mumu said confidently. What a trash, if you can't run a little, you won't be weak at all. So what do you want me to do now? The police dog had no choice but to accept the reality. Forehead. You don't have any plans at all. The police dog roars. Oh, don't be angry, don't be angry. The Sakura mission is coming to Mobe City soon. Then I will first find that old Biden in the crowd. Brother dog, just mark it and don't let him escape. Li Mumu touched his nose, feeling a little guilty. Plan. What's the plan? In the face of absolute strength, he only needs to crush it. Well, it's just that my strength has skyrocketed and I'm too lazy to think about it. I really don't blame him, it's only seconds anyway. What planning was needed was the only difficulty for him. Just how to find that person out. Then even if you kill him once, others will only lose 10 years of life. They can just go back to the resurrection point and resurrect. You know that 10 years of life is nothing to high-level professionals. Although the police dog didn't know exactly what Li Mumu was going to do. But he also knew that it was definitely not as simple as killing him once. In eternal life, death is not a terrible thing for high-level professionals. Sometimes it is the simplest way to get out of trouble. Well, what you said makes sense. Can the Wusa family's resurrection restriction method be copied last time? Li Mumu looked at Bai Li Qing and Bai Shu. They were both parties involved, so they naturally understood what Li Mumu wanted to express. This is not difficult to do, it just requires a lot of life. Bai Li Qing thought. She can arrange the formation that limits resurrection. After all, he still has a Taoist priest profession. The problem lies in lifespan consumption. Each time a player is resurrected, 20 years of lifespan are consumed. That's all right. Sister Qing, prepare this thing. It's okay. I can take care of your lifespan. Li Mumu patted his chest confidently. It's okay, master, I have money now. If you have money and strength, you have to buy yourself comfort. The crying eyes of the immortal mountain bear king were like an abandoned puppy. It really made him feel a little sad. Moreover, this old bidden has repeatedly acted like an Oriole and used himself as a gunman. He must know why the flowers are so red. Sakura mission. Ming Zisang, have all the bosses you captured been refined? Inside the carriage, a bearded man dressed as a wandering warrior asked another figure in the corner. Bowen, you just need to do your own thing. Excessive curiosity is not a good thing. The figure in the corner replied, and he couldn't tell whether he was male or female from his voice. Huh, I just hope you don't drag me down. The man called Bowen snorted coldly, stood up and left the car. As soon as the man left, the figure in the corner spat out a mouthful of blood. Why don't you give in? Aki Sasaki cursed. At the same time, his eyes were filled with hatred. If it weren't for her huge potential, he had already been left to the hundreds of ghosts to eat. I didn't expect this stupid bear to be so ungrateful. If you haven't successfully refined her before entering the city, there is only abandonment. Aikawa Hirofumi walked out of the carriage, cursing. Sooner or later, Aki Sasaki will be killed. Sudden. A cold light flashed in his eyes. Draw the knife. A warhead about 20 centimeters long was split in half by Aikawa Hirobumi with a knife. China stupid pig. Aikawa Hirobumi looked towards the direction where the bullet came from. The breeze blew by, and in the next moment, Aikawa Hirobumi's figure disappeared from the spot. Dozens of kilometers away, on a huge rock, a man in combat uniform was lying on the ground with a 3-meter-long sniper rifle in front of him. Or the sniper cannon is no problem, after all, the bullets he uses are already 20 centimeters long. I actually blocked it. The man looked through the sniper scope and saw that the bullet he fired was split in half with a knife. Without any hesitation, he immediately put away his sniper rifle and prepared to run away. He knew that he was no longer a threat to that person. If your country of China only has this level, then it will be destroyed, right? After the man heard these words, he found that his vision began to reverse, and then everything went dark. Aikawa Hirobumi revealed that he stepped on the man. Spat at the reveal. What a disgusting race. Offline. A conference room with only serial numbers 1 to 13. Is the news accurate? Elder Long's voice was low. I'm sure. This time, the Chew dog did not yell frivolously, but was very serious. The atmosphere in the entire conference room was terrifyingly low. Okay, I get it. Mr. Long nodded and said he understood. After that, the pheasant and the cud dog didn't say much. Instead, he nodded and left the conference room silently. Why? There is also a report on Mr. Long's desk. A small town on the border of Xuanwu Kingdom was massacred by mysterious people overnight. More than 1 million immortal indigenous people were brutally slaughtered. Wow, is the city so lively today? Li Mumu, who accompanied Bai Li Qing to buy materials on the street, looked around. Although he was fully prepared, he had only been in the immortal game for 2 days. But the flow of people walking on the road has increased a lot. Not just immortal natives. There are also a lot more players dressing up in strange shapes. For example, a player is covered in high-tech mecha and has a 2-meter-long cannon mounted on his shoulder. Li Mumu's mouth watered when he saw it. Sisters, who knows? This high-tech painting style, coupled with the asymmetrical beauty combination, is simply in love. Isn't this the Sakura mission you have been thinking about for a long time? You don't think they are just here to hang out, do you? Bai Li Qing was at the stall, selecting the materials she needed. While answering Li Mumu's question. Anyway, Li Mumu is an alien, so it's normal not to know this. Since you think you've come out, stop being so secretive. Tell me quickly. Li Mumu looked at Bai Li Qing with an indifferent expression as he picked out toads, centipedes on his palms, and soft worms on his arms. I admire you in my heart, a hero among women. You are worthy of being my Qingji in society. Even now, Li Mumu would choose to use his mind power to isolate these things from afar. Sure enough, my psychology is not strong enough. It's nothing, it's just that Sakura Sword Master Aikawa Hirofumi, provoking me that no one in Dahua country can be his opponent in swordsmanship, and he wants to come to Xuanwu country to challenge all the sword masters to prove that his words are correct. Quote. Bai Li Qing said, picking up a 6-legged hairless monster cub. After pinching the little monster's belly, the little monster spit out a blue egg. Li Mumu immediately blacklisted the profession of Taoist priest. No, the things I have to come into contact with are too disgusting and I can't stand it. He talks such nonsense, and he can still walk to Mobe City safely. If I hadn't found out today, I must have made arrangements for this guy a long time ago. It doesn't matter whether he is Sakura's or not. The main thing is not to allow anyone more arrogant than yourself to exist. He himself is the only profession. Among the only professions in China, those who major in swordsmanship are all people who want to save face. If they want to defeat him in an upright manner in the ring, the most they can do is harass others. Bai Li Qing selected another palm-sized humanoid species and pinched it with his hand. Instantly exploded. The mental shield is propped up. After the explosion, there was only one red crystal left in Bai Li Qing's hand. No wonder, so many people come to see the swordsman masters from China to repair their blogs. Li Mumu suddenly realized, no wonder. Hey, brother, you're here to see this kendo showdown too. Do you want a front row ticket? The chat between Li Mumu and Bai Li Qing did not avoid outsiders. A man wearing a master's mirror and holding a folding fan suddenly intervened in their conversation. You, scalper. When Li Mumu heard the question of whether he wanted the money or not, his body instantly became tense. The group he hates most appears. If not for them, everyone can grab tickets based on their ability. If not for them, a ticket worth a few hundred yuan won't be sold for tens of thousands. If not for them, I wouldn't have been tricked into losing 10 years of my life by buying tickets to his idol's concert. Hey, that's wrong. I see how heroic the young hero is, how could he say such vulgar words? This is called redistribution of liquid resources. The man in the master's mirror unfolded his folding fan and said, the Supreme Master knows astronomy. Isn't that just a scammer, or a scalper? Li Mumu picked his nose and flicked it against the folding fan. Vulgar. The folding fan flipped and Li Mumu's boogers popped out. You can see the writing on the back, I know geography. We just make things convenient for others and ourselves. The man held his master's mirror, his chest slightly raised, looking proud. The next time, he unfolded his folding fan to cover his side face and quietly approached Li Mumu. Tonight's sword debate, you'll have a good seat in the front row. Place your order now and you'll get a photo album of a senior professional courtesan owner for free. What is an Oran? Li Mumu asked sincerely. The master mirror man rolled his eyes and told Li Mumu generously. For this senior professional courtesan, the conditions for changing jobs are that the appearance and figure must be above 90 points, and the popularity value should be above 1 million, so this is a valuable thing, buddy, you know. Li Mumu nodded. Yes, how much is the ticket? Chungwei, one with a lifespan of 100 years. Why don't you go and grab it? The black market price of the photo album is 80 years. Give me 4. Both parties are very satisfied with this transaction. Except for one person. Bailey Ching looked at Li Mumu with a look of garbage on his face. Scum. Hey, I don't like hearing what you say. Everyone has a love for beauty. Li Mumu swears. He just wants to appreciate beauty. Lu Xuan once said that a person's aesthetics needs to be cultivated. How can you cultivate yourself if you don't take a closer look? Am I not beautiful? Bailey Ching glared angrily. You want to hear the truth? Speak. Actually, I'm more excited about Beishu. There is something to say. It's not him, Li Mumu, who is perverted. Sister Ching is definitely considered a top beauty. Otherwise there wouldn't be so many scumbag ex-boyfriends. You have to have a good figure and good looks. It's a pity that I don't have good vision. And Beishuna boy, if he hadn't said that he was a man, Li Mumu would never believe it. So pretty. Moreover, it also has its own charm, and those eyes with a look of admiration, no matter which man sees it. All have only one thought. I want to marry her. Go to hell. Bailey Ching became angry from shame and was a straight man. She deserves to be treated like a scumbag by a scumbag. If she is with this stinky straight man, she will get angry mammary gland hyperplasia sooner or later. If it were you, brother Mumu, it wouldn't be impossible. Beishu's voice suddenly came from behind the two of them. Li Mumu turned around and saw Beishu, his face flushed. He put one hand between his legs and held his hot cheek with the other, looking so shy that I felt pity for him. The eyes are blurred. It makes me want to punch him. Li Mumu knew that this kid was using charm again. Dai Kai, I'm just making a fair and impartial evaluation from an aesthetic point of view. Brother Mumu, don't be shy. A smirk flashed across Beishu's face. Get out of here. Hey. Okay, Mumu, come and pay. Bailey Ching mixed the things and asked Li Mumu to pay the bill. After all, she couldn't afford this set of things. Li Mumu picked up the bill and took a look. Lifespan of more than 10,000 years. This is just the material to prepare. At that time, every time the target is resurrected, another 20 years of life will have to be paid. Sure enough, no one is willing to use it unless it is a matter of deep hatred. Welcome to visit next time. The boss bid farewell to the three of them with a smile. No, here are the tickets for the sword discussion tonight. Take it. Where is the police dog man? Li Mumu divided the tickets he just bought between the two of them. But he found that the police dog was not by Beishu's side. Oh, he said that there will be no mistakes in tracking him, but when it comes to breaking the formation, he needs to be extra safe. Beishu answered as he took the ticket. You can't tell that this person is quite reliable. How did he slander you, Sister Ching? Li Mumu brought up old things again. Beishu's ears stood up instantly. Want to know? Bailey Ching smiled slightly, her gentle look like the warm sunshine. Li Mumu nodded wildly. Want to know. It's just that the warm sunshine makes it feel like the temperature is getting higher and higher. Hey, why is my bare fur on fire? Li Mumu quickly put it out. If you don't want to say it, just say it. It's true. Li Mumu touched his bare hood sadly. What happened between them? Speaking of the sword debate tonight, who is on the Chinese side? It's Yi Mubai, the alcoholic swordsman who claims to be a teetotaler. The old Madonna Beishu gives full play to his know-it-all character attributes. A teetotaler. A wine swordsman. Li Mumu was confused. Separate these two words. No problem at all. But when put together, it feels so wrong. The most important thing is that Yi Mubai's talent is the god of Dionysus. Beishu said proudly. This was the inside information he got from their Goldenwood society. No one outside knows this. I have a question. Li Mumu weakly raised his hand. How did his only profession and talent lead to the title of teetotal? Gifted Dionysus. The only professional wine swordsman. No matter how you look at it, you need to drink tons and tons of alcohol to exert your maximum power. Everyone basically knows this. Beishu looked at Bailie-Ching. All know. Li Mumu also followed Beishu's gaze and looked at Bailie-Ching. Because he's allergic to alcohol. Bailie-Ching spoke calmly and gave alien Li Mumu some science knowledge. That's it. The gifted Dionysus, the only professional Dionysian, is he allergic to alcohol? Is he allergic to alcohol? Li Mumu turned to look at Beishu and asked for confirmation. You're not kidding me. No. Li Mumu suddenly wanted to shout out to thousands of ordinary professionals. Why? Aren't their shit basins lined with gold? Do something. This most powerful combination was actually given to a person who is allergic to alcohol. So how strong is this wine swordsman? This is Li Mumu's biggest concern. You'll know if you go and see it tonight. Beishu smiled hoarsely and did not directly tell Li Mumu the answer. Hateful. Go to hell with anyone who whets my appetite. Seeing Li Mumu's mask of pain, Beishu chuckled. Put his hand on Li Mumu's shoulder. Okay, let's go meet the police dogs first. ... Buy it and leave it, buy it and leave it. Big. Little. Purchase and leave, 134 hours. As the dice cup opens. There was a cry of mourning. I just said by a small one. Grass. Base. A long red knife exuding strong heat was inserted into the gaming table. Bailie-Ching's face was cold and his eyes were calm. It's like looking at a bed bug, looking at a police dog. Is this what you mean by adding some insurance? Beishu held his forehead and sighed. Li Mumu looked around. Gambling house. I have never experienced such high-end things in Macau in my previous life. Ching, please listen to my explanation. Police dog Wen Jinliang has a dry mouth. I don't know if it's because I'm nervous, or if it's caused by the massive evaporation of water in the air. At the same time, he glared at Beishu. What's wrong with you, kid? King, you know, I tend to make mistakes when I'm nervous, so I have to find something to relax. The police dog's eyes rolled rapidly, trying to muddle through. But when I think about it carefully, they are all broken up now. I'm so scared. Then he met those burning eyes. Never mind. Good men don't fight with women. The teetotal swordsman Yi Mubai fights against the cherry blossom swordsman Aikawa Hirobumi. It's on. I beat Yi Mubai. 200,000 lifespan. Li Mumu's voice came. Beishu turned around and saw Li Mumu, who was looking around beside him just now. I don't know when I crawled over and placed my bet. Bailie-Ching's hair started to burn at this time. Walking towards Li Mumu step by step. The scorching heat caused everyone along the way to get out of the way. Anyone who was a little late would have had a few blisters on them. Li Mumu happily bet Yi Mubai on his lifespan of 200,000 years. I was thinking in my heart, if I win this bet, how many years of my life will I have to spend in vain, As for losing, snort, my invincible Li Mumu is here. I won't let you lose. A teetotaler, Yi Mubai. Even if you are a waste. As long as I go to the scene and do some tricks. It's not just something you can pick up at your fingertips, hey. Just when Li Mumu was still immersed in the joy of picking up 200,000 lifespan for free. Suddenly, Bailie-Ching was found walking over with murderous intent. Mumu, listen to me, gamblers will never end well. It's safe to turn around. Bailie-Ching said earnestly. If you exclude the blazing head that is already burning. It was truly a picture of persuasion that moved people to tears. Hey, calm down, Sister Ching. Li Mumu quickly put out the flames. Although considering his physique, this little flame couldn't even burn off the hair on his body. You already said that gamblers will not end well, and I didn't gamble. Yes, things with probability are called gambling. I, Li, guarantee Yi Mubai's victory. Can this be called gambling? This is called leverage. A lifespan of 200,000 becomes 400,000 overnight, which is great. Bailey Ching raised her eyebrows. After all, we have been teammates for 2 days, so we have a somewhat tacit understanding. Li Mumu nodded. Lend me 10,000 years of life. At this moment, Bailey Ching is still saving money and doesn't have much on him. Easy to say. If Li Mumu hadn't done it for self-defense. The 290,000 years of life on the body are all squeezed into it. Bailey Ching turned around and shortened his lifespan of 10,000 years, while Yi Mubai succeeded. Beshu and the police dog came over to take a look. Beshu was not interested in these things. On the contrary, it is the police dog. As an old poisonous dog, he analyzes everything in detail. Although I know you can't stand the Sakura Sword Master, but based on the current historical record analysis of the two, Aikawa Hirobumi's winning rate is much higher. And from the odds between the two, it can be seen that Yi Mubai is 1, but Aikawa Hirobumi is only 0.6, you may lose all your money. The police dog laughed wildly at the two men. I am a professional in gambling. Li Mumu and Bailey Ching smiled slightly and said nothing more. You are so confident. Doesn't it mean you have some inside information? Did Aikawa Hirobumi and Yi Mubai make an appointment to crack down on match fixing? It's impossible. There's hatred between the family and the country. It's impossible for these two people to let go. Otherwise, the market wouldn't be so big this time, right? Immediately, the police dog's gaze caught sight of Li Mumu's confident look. Then he thought of himself being subdued. No way. You can't be so stupid. You don't want to cheat outside the court and help Yi Mubai, do you? Li Mumu didn't answer. Instead, he raised his head. I just have that strength. Don't blame me for not reminding you. There is a dividing barrier on the playing field, which can block any interference from the outside world. And even if you make a lucky break, any energy transfer will be sensed, and the game will be cancelled by then. The police dog said coldly, this world would be much more powerful, if only everyone could interfere in the gambling game. The casino has long been closed. What did you say? When Li Mumu and Bailey Ching heard this, they immediately became anxious. Outside the gambling house, Li Mumu and Bailey Ching stood on the street in despair. The autumn wind blows. The two people seemed to have lost their color. Sister Ching, what do you think of me blowing up Mobe City? Li Mumu's eyes were in a trance, without any highlights. I think it's pretty good, haha. Bailey Ching moved her mouth mechanically to reply. Yes, according to the current player density, if I blow up Mobe City, I might earn 2 million lifespans immediately, hee. Li Mumu seemed to be in a state of dementia, laughing with unknown meaning. It seems that his plan is very feasible. Beishu looked at the two people who had lost their basic logic. Congratulate yourself for not being tempted to place a bet. Otherwise, there would only be 3 people whose painting styles have changed. When the two of them entered the casino just now and wanted to withdraw their bets, they were rejected. That's what it is now. Okay, don't be sad. If you bought the tickets, there are so many duels ahead. It would be a waste not to watch them. Beishu picked up the two of them and walked towards the arena. The police dog also followed with a speechless expression. Mobe City Coliseum. Countless duels take place here every day. It is a holy place for avid PK enthusiasts. Of course, it is also a carnival for gamblers. So when the police dog comes here, it's like coming home. The familiar driver led the 3 of them to their seats. Front row VIP private room. Those who can duel in the arena today are all respectable people. Although not the only profession. But they are all high-level players with high-level careers. For example, the duel currently going on. Mecha Ambition King Kaiwei vs. Immovable Fortress Luzon. Why, are they two very powerful? Li Mumu sensed that there was indeed a barrier in the venue. On the one hand, it prevents the aftermath of the internal battle from affecting the spectators outside. On the other hand, it is also to prevent outside personnel from trying to make small moves. What to say? To Li Mumu, this barrier was as fragile as an eggshell. Just poke it and it will break. But ask him to go completely around it so that no one can find it. There is no way yet. It's quite famous. There are still more than 1 million fans on the short video. The police dog touched his chin and made a clear analysis. Lee Mumu was speechless for a while. Who asked you to be famous? I mean, these two are very strong. Under the only one, there are few opponents. When Lee Mumu heard this, his eyes lit up. Two people standing in the arena. It's easy to distinguish, Mecha Ambition King Kaiwei. Wearing a tactical vest. Standing on a mecha with a fighting ethnic style. The size of the mecha is not large, about 4 or 5 meters. It was not Gundam, Lee Mumu was disappointed. And the other one is equipped with 2 giant shields. No need to ask, just don't move the fortress Luzon. The two of them saluted each other. The battle started immediately. Mecha Ambition King Kaiwei fully demonstrated to the audience what the hell is called the Steel Torrent. He was driving a mecha, with an oversized Gatling in one hand, and fired wildly at Luzon. Oh. When the battle begins, our player Wong Kaiwei didn't intend to leave any chance to the enemy from the beginning. The arena commentator was very excited when he saw this. It was as if he was the one who did it. But our player Luzon, who is known as the immovable fortress, is he really so easy to defeat? As the commentary voice fell, smoke dispersed in the venue. Luzon was seen holding 2 shields, and no damage could be seen. The initial form of Luzon's talent is blocking. Now it has been upgraded to the 4th stage, perfect blocking. As long as he blocks the damage, his body will not be hurt at all. The police dog looked at Luzon, who was unharmed in the smoke. Explained to everyone in the private room. There is almost no difference between the immortal game and the real world. Under normal circumstances, even Luzon could block these bullets with his shield. But the impact of so many bullets hitting the shield is enough to kill someone. Isn't that invincible? Lee Mumu tasted it carefully. As long as you have a strong enough shield. This Luzon is a talent that can be created. It can't be that simple. Wong Kaiwei's talent is the core of his intellectual brain. The operation of the mecha is the same whether he sits in it or not. When he jumps out and fights separately from his own mecha, Luzon won't necessarily be able to defend him. Coming. The police dog complained coldly. Some of these talents seem to be strong. In actual operation, the shortcomings are huge. Intellectual brain core. This word attracted Lee Mumu's attention. You see that mecha, it has a head-like part. That is actually Wong Kaiwei's talent. Why do you feel so weak? There are no AI robots in everlasting life. Lee Mumu looked at Wong Kaiwei's mecha with disgust. Just a smart computer. Of course there is, but it's not as powerful as him, and it can evolve. If he hadn't had the money, he wouldn't be operating a small mecha of 4 or 5 meters. The police dog complained. Regarding Wong Kaiwei's matter, there were actually many big bosses who wanted to support him. After all, his talent caused a sensation when it first emerged. His brain is not only capable of taking over all operations of mechanical equipment. Moreover, the intelligent brain can drive the evolution of the entire mechanical components from point to surface. It's a pity that the resources consumed are too terrible. The time when several people in the private room complained. Wong Kaiwei's body had been taken out from his chest by his mecha. Throw it into the air. Luzon, who was originally on passive defense. The 2 huge shields on the front were suppressed and they didn't dare to move at all. Facing Wong Kaiwei, who was flying into the air at this time, he was also weak. The victory is decided. The commentator announces the result of the game. Look, what is betting? This is what I call betting. I fully analyze the strength of both parties and then take action. This is a qualified bettor, learn from it. The police dog saw that Wong Kaiwei won in the end. Cheered. After all, he was betting on 1,000 years of life in this round. Yes, brother dog, who is so knowledgeable and talented, is there any way to deceive this barrier? Lee Mumu said angrily. Please. A lifespan of 200,000 years is also very important to him, okay. If that doesn't work, the only option is to blow up Mobe City. Hey, don't think about it. Even if there is a way, I won't tell you. After all, I am also one of the maintenance personnel of this barrier. The police dog showed a card. It says, Mobaikung Arena Boundary Repairer, Wen Jinliang. You thick eyebrows and big eyes didn't tell me earlier. Lee Mumu thought about it. He was the professional tracking and formation breaking personnel he hired. He should be happy that he has this title. Well, happy. My lifespan of 200,000, woo woo woo. Soon. It's the highlight of the evening. Watching a group of people suddenly run around the barrier and make some strange gestures. What are they doing? Lee Mumu asked the police dog with some confusion. After all, he is the only insider here. Strengthen the barrier. There will be a duel between two professions later. The current protection will definitely not be enough. The police dog explained. It's just a little strange in my heart. Why didn't you notify yourself about this? Are there any other candidates? So that's it. Lee Mumu rolled his eyes. Quietly explore the power of thought. Affordability is indeed increasing, but it's just an upgrade from eggshell to, probably, ostrich eggshell. The hardness has increased a lot, but to him, there seems to be no difference. It's all a matter of snapping. Brother dog, if this barrier is broken and the game is terminated, will the money be refunded? Lee Mumu asked sincerely. This is important to him. It's also very important to Sister Ching. The police dog glanced at Lee Mumu. Laughed heartily. Ha ha ha, what are you thinking? This barrier cannot be broken even by two soul professions with all their strength. Once this barrier is opened, life will burn every second. It is known as the unbreakable shield. In the Imperial City the barrier is of the same level. The police dog laughed at Lee Mumu's whims. If only this thing could be broken. Then he would stand upside down and have diarrhea. Hey, don't worry about it. Just tell me whether you will get a refund. Lee Mumu understands police dogs. After all, my strength is unfathomable. The last time the whole Thanos 2 guild. They are like quails, they dare not fart. Last time, the strength of the previous King of Knights was updated. I still don't know which corner it is locked in. It should be so. Although this has never happened, the gambling house's background is the city lord, so it still has a bit of integrity. The police dog analyzed it carefully and found that this matter is still feasible. After all, for gambling houses, integrity and safety are the most important. Otherwise, how can we attract more customers? Do you really think that gambling houses rely on winning customers' money? No, they rely on commission. Even if the commission is not high, in a place like a gambling house where assets flow quickly. It is also an unimaginably huge wealth. Any gambling house with any sense will not operate by ripping off customers. They even arrange for people with superb gambling skills to be on duty. To prevent someone from cheating on their casino and robbing people. That's right, the background is still the city lord. A malicious smile flashed across Lee Mumu's face. My lifespan of 200,000 is stable. Best to win money. If you can't win, I will overturn the table. If you don't recognize it after flipping the table, go talk to the city lord. The main thing is to prepare multiple paths. No matter what happens, Lee Mumu can't lose. This time he finally felt relieved. During the chat, the barrier was also strengthened. Attention, audience friends. Today's highlight is here. The much-anticipated battle for the swordsmanship leader. Sakura Sword Master Aikawa Hirobumi vs Teetotal Yi Mubai. The commentator roared, and Lee Mumu was afraid, and the next moment his voice broke. On one side is the sword master of the Sakura Kingdom. It is said that his offline identity is also the 37th generation successor of the Fuso sword. He is invincible in the world. As the narrator introduces, Aikawa Hirobumi, wearing kendo uniform, slowly walked into the arena. Looking at the noisy crowd around, veins popped out on Aikawa Hirobumi's forehead. He actually wants to watch these Chinese pigs here. What a shame. Sasaki Aki, I must kill you. Aikawa Hirofumi tried his best to endure the anger in his heart. But the eyes looking towards the audience were already red. I really want to kill them. On the other side is our Chinese wine sword immortal. Yi Mubai. Everyone must be familiar with this big shot. Following the narrator's slightly teasing introduction, the audience burst into laughter. Yes, the famous teetotaler Yi Mubai. Who doesn't know? The only professional shame. Amid the roars of laughter from the audience, Yi Mubai stumbled into the arena. It's different from Lee Mumu's stereotype. Originally, he thought that Yi Mubai should be dressed in white clothes and snow. Only in this way can he be worthy of being called the wine and sword immortal. This is not the case. A woolen hat, a loose sweatshirt, and large round framed glasses. He looks timid about everything. He looks like a college student, clear and stupid. Yimubai walked into the arena. During this period, he accidentally stepped on his front foot with his back foot and fell flat on the ground. The audience immediately laughed even more joyfully. But it stung Aikawa Hirobumi's self-esteem. These Chinese pigs from China look down on people. He actually sent someone like this to duel with him. Ah, scholars can be killed, but not humiliated. Baga. Go to hell. Aikawa Hirobumi, whose eyes were blood red, could no longer suppress the murderous intention in his heart. Draw your own katana. With a flash of sword light, the whole person teleported behind Yimubai. Aikawa Hirobumi slowly sheathed his sword. China's swordsmanship is invulnerable. Aikawa Hirobumi is very confident. Oh, this is drawing a sword and slashing. It's so handsome. Yimubai's voice sounded behind him. What? Impossible. Aikawa Hirobumi's eyes widened and he looked back in disbelief. Yimubai stood there calmly. But the feeling of his hand just now was obviously the feeling of cutting something. As a swordsman, he still has this ability to judge. What happened just now? In the whole box, Beishu, who had the lowest strength, asked questions. He just saw Aikawa Hirofumi cut Yimubai in two. Why are you standing there so well at this time? I don't know either. Baileiqing shook his head and looked at Li Mumu for help. Although her basic attributes are not enough to see these clearly. But she believed that the alien Li Mumu must know what happened. See Gui. Li Mumu praised. This Yimubai is not a simple thing. He has an agility of up to 300 million. Of course you clearly see what happened. It is said that when Bowen used the sword to slash, Yimubai dodged it, and what he hit was just an afterimage. It's that simple. Well, this Yimubai also used Aikawa Hirobumi's knife to trim his sideburns. Li Mumu pointed at Yimubai's temples. Look, it's smoother than when I first entered. Forehead. Everyone was speechless. Is Yimubai's character so bad? China pig, you pissed me off. Aikawa Hirofumi roared, although he didn't know what method the enemy used, but his agility suddenly increased. But he actually used his favorite knife to trim his sideburns. Aikawa looked at the bit of hair still remaining on the blade. He said in anger, originally for planning, this trick cannot be used now. But now, China pig, it's your honor to die under this hand. Yimubai looked at Aikawa Hirofumi, his demeanor suddenly changed drastically. I was also complaining in my heart. Even though you had just dodged the Sakura sword master, it seemed very easy. In fact, the price paid is not small at all. His own talent and only profession. To exert their effects, they need to consume the alcohol content in the blood. And I am well known for my alcohol allergy. What to do? Automatically decomposes elements in the blood and synthesizes alcohol. Isn't it very smart? But it will be anemic. Anemia. Otherwise, why would his sole occupation be wearing a woolen hat? Isn't he anemic and cold? Otherwise, why would he, a majestic wine and swordsman, fall down while walking? Didn't he lose too much blood? Is it fake? The drunken swordsman in movies and TV series is swaying. Was drunk. And I, Yimubai, was swaying. He is so vain. Yimubai, I admit that you are very strong, but you will never be able to catch this move. Aikawa Hirobumi made harsh words. He has the confidence and the strength. His only professional compound swordsman. It allows him to combine any swordsmanship with its essence and discard its dross. Of course, it seems ordinary just by looking at it this way. But please note that it is optional. These sword techniques do not require their real existence. It can also be integrated. For example, the magical Yan Wei in Sakura Legend. It has actually been lost for a long time, but it can still be integrated into his swordsmanship. Today, Aikawa Hirobumi's swordsmanship has long been practiced to perfection. Full name: Futian Yujian Style Shanglong Tiandian 36 Lu Yanwei Sword Technique. Kendo. He is invincible. Aikawa Hirobumi's eyes were locked on Yimubai. The whole body's momentum exploded, like a ferocious beast that chooses people for its liking. Idiot. Aki Sasaki, who was hiding behind the scenes, saw Aikawa Hirobumi's posture. I still don't understand what he wants to do. Quickly give orders and start the plan ahead of schedule. More success than failure. After giving the urgent order, he himself quickly got up and acted according to the plan. Watch out, Yimubai! Aikawa Hirobumi shouted. How? Yimubai was confused. His chronic low blood pressure made him always slow down. This knife will be very sharp. As Aikawa Hirobumi's words fell, the barrier that originally enveloped the entire arena suddenly expanded. The entire arena, including the auditorium, is covered inside. Not good. Brother Go immediately noticed something was wrong and shouted. This is equivalent to putting them into the arena and facing the attacks of the only profession. Li Mumu calmly held up the mental shield. If the arena's enchantment is considered to be at the level of an ostrich shell. This shield he held up. At least half a meter thick vibranium level. Not a little thin at all. Brother, just wave your hand, that's the worst. As Li Mumu's shield rose, several people were protected within it. Aikawa Hirobumi's attack was also issued. Aikawa Hirobumi's swordsmanship, no matter how many skills it incorporates, how powerful it is. In the final analysis, let Li Mumu summarize it. Why don't he just draw his sword and kill him? It's just that his sword drawing slash was extremely powerful. Just the escaping sword energy completely shattered some of the weak people in the stands. You must know that this is just the sword energy escaping. The real attack has not yet been launched. What happened? Why is it attacking the audience? But at this moment, who cares about this? Everyone held their breath and focused on the center of the arena. Because the next blow will be amazing. Aikawa Hirobumi drew his sword. Different from the previous blow. Many people couldn't understand what was happening. Only people with high basic attributes like Li Mumu know what happened. This time the sword was drawn. Very slow. Behead all my enemies. As Aikawa Hirobumi slowly drew his sword and slashed, he calmly spat out these 4 words. The overwhelming sword intent swept the entire place. Except for Li Mumu and others, they felt nothing at all. The sharp sword light reflected on Yimubai's face. His complexion, which was already pale due to anemia, now looked even more sickly. Li Mumu would like to call it that. Kendo Lin Daiyu. Big dream on earth. Facing the shocking sword power of Aikawa Hirobumi. Yimubai didn't avoid anything. There is no way to dodge. He chose to unleash the fusion skill of his own talent and only profession. Big Dream World. During the skill period, all damage to yourself is negated. It's a pity that with Lin Daiyu's physical fitness and swordsmanship, a skill of this level simply cannot last. Just for a moment. Yimubai spit out a mouthful of transparent tissue fluid. It was not hurt by Aikawa Hirobumi. It's his own skills that backfire. Aikawa Hirobumi's shocking blow was resolved so easily. But Aikawa Hirofumi didn't show any angry expression. Boom. Yimubai just denied the harm to himself. But it does not resolve Aikawa Hirobumi's harm. This slash struck the audience seat behind Yimubai without any obstruction. There were heavy casualties. How can it be? Yimubai, who has been paying attention to the battlefield, has weak energy due to low blood pressure. There was no discovery that the protective barrier had surrounded the entire arena. Ha 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 ha. The hunting has begun. Aikawa Hirobumi laughed wildly, finally no longer having to hold back and could kill these Chinese pigs at will. Hey, hey, hey. Brother dog, this game doesn't count now. Li Mumu was excited. There is something wrong with the protective barrier. This Aikawa Hirobumi is killing the audience. Can I take action myself? Can I take action myself? Ah, I have long wanted to kill this little Sakura. Your strength is only so small, so don't show off in front of your grandpa Li. You still care about the competition. The rules in this barrier have been changed. The police dog looked serious. Just when he was reinforcing the barrier, he felt something was wrong. I didn't expect that people would actually become the mole. Change the rules. What rules? Li Mumu asked. Sorry, no knowledge in this area. And this barrier is as brittle as an egg shell. Well, now it's an ostrich shell. Don't take it to heart at all. I don't know. It should be related to the resurrection rules. Police dogs are not operators. I can only feel a change. But we don't know what the specific changes are. It's resurrection time. A female voice interrupted the chat between several people. In the arena, Hirobumi Aikawa was preparing to start a massacre. I also found that there was an additional enemy in front of me. Green hair, iconic canine teeth. It's a rut dog. And insert the person who chats with several people. It's a pheasant. Resurrection time. That's right, from now on, players who die in this barrier will be resurrected after a day. Pheasant opened his mouth to explain. Ah, what's the point? Li Mumu was puzzled. To kill NPCs. Beshu suddenly spoke. Their Jinmuhui is an organization where NPC is the boss. I have some knowledge of this kind of thing. In the game of immortality, since players can be chickens, so is an NPC, there is no difference from a living person. Of course it has its uses. Players will be resurrected after death. But NPC death will not. So after the NPC dies, there will be one more thing than the player. Soul, are you saying that in order to trap most of the players here, you won't help the NPCs outside? Today's Kendo duel. For the player circle, it's quite sensational. All players in the arena at this moment, as long as they have time. Basically everyone gathered here. Yes. Pheasant answered honestly. But this requires a barrier to be useful, right? Although Li Mumu didn't know who this beautiful woman who suddenly appeared was. But the current problem is focused on this barrier, right? Then break him into pieces and the problem will be solved. Theoretically, this is true, but I haven't heard of anyone who can defeat this barrier. Pheasant hasn't finished speaking yet. I saw the barrier covering the entire arena. Suddenly, like broken glass, begins to crumble. Huge pieces of debris fell from the sky. Then it turned into nothingness. Does this make it okay? Li Mumu was proud. No matter what his conspiracy is, I can only rely on absolute hard power to crush him. Impossible. The pheasant stared in disbelief. OMG. This is a barrier at the same level as the royal palace. I haven't heard of any cases of it being broken. The police dog also shouted incredulously at this time. Someone can actually break this barrier. And he looked so relaxed, I couldn't believe it. Bailey Ching said he was used to it. He took out the prepared props from the package. She knew it was time to get to work. Li Mumu came to the field. I don't know what the profession and talent of a cud dog is. The fights are very fancy. The originally bare arena. Now it's almost turned into a garden by him. With a wave of his hand, a bunch of vines sprouted out. As soon as it was scattered, the grass seeds exploded on the spot. And Aikawa's earlier opponent, Yimu Bai, was sitting on a chair made of vines, recuperating. What a leisure time. Too trash. Watch my performance. Bring it to you. Li Mumu stretched out his hand. A grasp of the void. Aikawa Hirobumi felt as if someone was holding his throat. Was lifted up, flying in front of Li Mumu. See, you have to be so neat and tidy when doing things. After saying that, he looked at Yimu Bai, who was lying dead beside him, and unresponsive cud dogs. It's okay. Bailey Ching walked over and nodded to Li Mumu, okay. Okay. Seeing Bailey Ching's confirming eyes, Li Mumu could finally release himself. Click. The sound of breaking bones was heard. Li Mumu did not give Aikawa Hirobumi any chance to speak. Anyway, it's nothing more than China or something. Let's kill him first to relieve his chi. The next moment, it is said that Bowen was resurrected on the spot. How is it possible? Impossible. He seemed to have not yet accepted the fact that he was killed instantly. Pity the next moment. He lost control of his body again. I ask, you answer, do you understand? Li Mumu once again brought up the Xuanchuan blog post. Baga, China pig, I won't tell you anything, ha 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 ha. Crack. According to legend, Bowen created a cloud of blood mist. Can your Bushido spirit, little Sakura, be brought into play on the righteous path? For example, gather people with Bushido spirit across the country to form a group to drink nuclear contaminated water. Don't use it to talk back to me. Between two breaths. Will be the only professional owner. Killed twice. Except for Bailey Ching at this moment. Everyone was stunned. There are even some people who have not yet reacted to the shock of their only profession being killed instantly. Aikawa Hirobumi was killed again. Who is this? Brother is so fierce, you are my god. Who is this? I've never heard of it. I announce that I have a new idol, hee hee. Hurry up and record it. Tomorrow's hot search will be mine. Today's duel itself is a huge hot spot. On the one hand, Aikawa Hirobumi is too arrogant. It aroused the anger of the Chinese people. On the other hand, although Yimu Bai has always been called the only shame. However, there are almost no videos of the incident in the public eye. Everyone is also curious. So the audience around me just now were all holding their breath. Although Yi Mubai did not lose, he did not have any effective counterattack. This Aikawa Hirobumi was cursing Chinese pigs while also slashing the audience in the auditorium. Who is not angry? At least no one at the scene was not angry. But the people in the live broadcast room. There are people who are different. After all, it doesn't matter whether it's a human or a pig behind the keyboard. Some Barrages openly shouted that Bowen is so handsome and that he is a real man. At this time, I saw Aikawa Hirobumi being killed. Just say that the Chinese people can't afford it, 3 against 1. But Li Mumu didn't care about this. If these keyboard warriors really offend me, they will follow the network cable and try to crush his head. But now, Li Mumu once again used telekinesis to choke Aikawa Hirofumi. Wait a minute. Before you answer my question this time, let's take a look at the lifespan you have deducted. Li Mumu reminded kindly. This was also his whim today. Since your own talent can strengthen anything, so why can't this prop that limits the resurrection position be strengthened? Sure, so now the effect of the magic circle run by Bailey Ching. But it's an enhanced version. Each resurrection will deduct 1,000 years of life. It's a pity that this lifespan will not be extended to Li Mumu. He still only gets 10 years of life, plus 20 years of resurrection costs. Once in and out, it is still a loss of 10 years of life. What? Aikawa Hirobumi heard this and looked at his life balance. 2,000 years of life have actually been deducted. What on earth did you do? Aikawa Hirobun's eyes were red and he glared at Li Mumu. Don't worry about it. Now let me ask you, is there anyone in your mission trying to catch the wild boss? Li Mumu asked. After all, the poop fortune teller only told himself. This man has something to do with the mission. Didn't say who it was. It's Sasaki Aki. Pheasant suddenly interrupted. Ah, crack. Oh, I'm sorry, I accidentally strangled Aikawa Hirobumi to death again. The owner of the only profession, the king of 100 demons. I told you earlier that you knew, why should I talk nonsense to him? Crack. The resurrected Aikawa Hirobumi exploded on the spot again. You didn't ask. Didn't I ask? Li Mumu looked at Bailiching and confirmed. No. Okay. Then why did Aki Sasaki capture the wild boss? Li Mumu looked at the duo of the dog and the pheasant with resentment. He looks pretty good, and he seems to know a lot about some organization. Looking at Li Mumu's confused and wary eyes. Bailey Qingfu, this alien doesn't even know about the Chinese Zodiac idol group, right? Chapter 51. Pheasant stared at Li Mumu, with complicated emotions in his eyes. Sasaki Aki's talent is called Hyaki Yako. You can capture any unit, strengthen and control it, and add it to your own Hyaki. Okay, I understand, then who are you, the Wagwalong group? Li Mumu heard Pheasant explain Sasaki's talent, and instantly understood his role in capturing the wild boss. Hey, you really don't know. Bailiching sighed. The pheasant and the cud dog were also speechless for a while. In fact, they are somewhat confident in their popularity. As the first batch of members of China's God-making project, the country has done enough in terms of external publicity. They are like the most advanced equipment displayed during the military parade. The parade may not be everyone's concern, but this game of immortality is closely related to everyone. It is no exaggeration to say that it is a household name. Unfortunately, Li Mumu is an alien. They are called Chu Dog and Pheasant. They are members of the Chinese Zodiac Organization. The Chinese Zodiac Organization is composed of 13 unique professionals. Bailiching gave Li Mumu some science tips angrily. So there are 13 zodiac signs, is it common sense? Li Mumu complained. Crack. Choking Aikawa Hirobumi to death again. Now that the barrier here has been broken, we must quickly evacuate the players to resist Sasaki Aki's Hyaki Yako. According to the original plan, it was the two of them who took care of the Sakura sword master inside the barrier. Prevent him from going on a killing spree here. Even if the barrier is opened by then, all the fighting forces in the arena and some Mobe city nobles will be killed or injured. The real highlight of the evening. It's Aki Sasaki's Hyaki Yako. At that time, a large number of players will be needed to put out the fire. The last launch of the 100 Ghost Night Parade. Directly create a small border town and directly destroy the city. The number of casualties exceeded 1 million. For Xuanwu Kingdom, it was also a very bad incident. Then my target is also the one named Sasaki Aki. Watching pheasants and cud dogs go to evacuate the crowd. Lee Mumu caught Aikawa again and did not kill him directly. Where is Aki Sasaki? Not much nonsense. A gang committed a crime, but Lee Mumu didn't believe them and didn't leave any contact information. Oh, it's useless. Even if you know her location, you can't kill her. In the immortal game, death only deducts lifespan. But the memory and the pain don't fade in any way. At this time, Aikawa died multiple times in a short period of time. Already looking very weak, competing with a certain alcoholic swordsman who doesn't drink. Crack. Lee Mumu gave Aikawa a different way to die. No more neck cracking. Instead, press it directly into a ball of meat sauce. Die more thoroughly. I ask, you answer, don't say whether there is something else or not, do you understand? After Aikawa Hirobumi was resurrected again, there was no resistance. He was mentioned in front of Lee Mumu again. Ming, understand. After many deaths, Aikawa Hirobumi no longer feels arrogant. Like a docile puppy. Where is she? We can sense each other, now in that direction. Aikawa pointed in a direction. Lee Mumu turned back to look at Bai Li Qing and Bei Shu. He nodded and signaled the three of them to get ready. Next. It's fast and furious time. Activate telekinesis. The spirit of 50 million exerts the effect of 500 billion passively. Lee Mumu also thoughtfully installed shields on several people. Prevent them from being blown to death by the wind. Certainly. Aikawa Hirobumi did not receive this treatment. When breaking again, Aikawa Hirobumi doesn't have a good piece of meat on his body. However, it is the only profession after all. Not dead. Right in here. Aikawa Hirobumi weakly pointed to a building. Lee Mumu looked at the three of them. The police dog nodded in understanding and disappeared into the darkness. Bai Li Qing ran the resurrection circle and squatted next to Lee Mumu. Beshu. Those who paddle, ignore him. Give back my cute king of the immortal mountain. Lee Mumu shouted. Use all your telekinesis to crush the building in front of you. Boom. The building in front of you. It was razed to the ground in an instant. Aikawa, is this your samurai spirit? A cold female voice, slightly mocking. Snort. Aikawa Hirofumi snorted and didn't say much. At this time, he was just a prisoner. It's useless to say anything. Old bidden. Why is she still a woman? Lee Mumu looked at the woman walking out of the ruins. For my old acquaintances, he was not beaten to death. He wasn't surprised. It's just that I had a dry, phlegm-filled throat before. As a result, he always thought that this guy was an old bidden. At this time, I saw this woman with a graceful figure. It just surprised him. Haha, they are just a few useless puppets. Humph, don't think that because you are beautiful, I won't kill you. Lee Mumu looked at Bai Li Qing. After seeing Bai Li Qing nod, indicating that there was no problem with the operation of the resurrection circle. Haha, what a cute little man. I wonder if your strength is also so cute. Sasaki Aki smiled a few times. Then a Rashomon gate composed of skeletons opened behind her. Two figures 4 to 5 meters tall walked out of it. A figure covered in red, one-armed, holding a giant mace. Another figure was carrying a giant wine gourd. The demonic aura was strong, exuding an aura that made everyone feel uncomfortable. Ibaraki, Shuden, kill them. Aki Sasaki ordered. These are the two great ghost kings, Ibaraki Doji and Shuden Doji. But the two ghost kings he spent the most resources to cultivate. He is also his right-hand man. Even the soul profession makes a difference. For example, a high-end combat power like Sasaki himself. Just two summoned ghost kings. They all have the combat power to guarantee victory against ordinary professions alone. And this kind of combat power, Sasaki Aki, can be cultivated infinitely. So this time the plan. Aikawa is just a bait. It is convenient for you to be among the hundreds of ghosts walking in the night. The ghost kings he cultivated spread throughout the city. After Ibaraki Doji and Shuden Doji received the order, let out a scream. Then he attacked Lee Mumu. What to say? It's best to arm wrestle with the King of Knights based on your intuition. Still the King of Knights without riding a dragon. That's it. Lee Mumu was very disappointed and dared to seek the only job in a city. If it weren't for a lot of work. Run fast. I've killed myself hundreds of times. HMPH, you Chinese people just like to make things mysterious. Sasaki heard Li Mumu's speech. Not angry. This is just a Chinese tradition. What is this called? Yes, pretending to be calm. These two people were the last time I saw them. It was just a back and forth fight with the Bear King of the Immortal Mountain. The Immortal Mountain Bear King is among his own 100 ghosts. It's just in the middle of the pack. Now face your own top ghost king. There is no way they are rivals. Crack. Like a tomato being crushed. Aki Sasaki, who was still feeling proud just now that he had seen through everything. He touched the hot blood on his cheek in disbelief. I'm sorry, I never use tactics, I only act recklessly. Li Mumu crushed the two ghost kings. Seeing Sasaki's beauty turn pale, evil thoughts filled his heart. Such a pretty little face. It must be fun to make her cry. Looking at Li Mumu's malicious smile. Perhaps sensing something, Bailichin glared at Li Mumu fiercely. Impossible. How could they be killed instantly? The physical attributes of the two demon kings, Ibaraki Doji and Shuten Doji. It has already exceeded 100 billion. Don't talk about instant kills. It's difficult to get them hurt. Moreover, they have their own magic weapons, such as bathing with lava and using nuclear bombs as popping candy, which are all trivial. He was actually killed instantly. Sasaki's eyes almost burst open. That's it. Hand over the Immortal Mountain Bear King quickly. Li Mumu mocked, his nostrils turned upward. Just now, Brother Go also sent a message saying that he has marked Aki Sasaki. Next is the time for you to play as you wish. Huh, don't be so proud. Although I don't know what your only profession is, you can kill two of my ghost kings instantly, but you don't naively think that I only have this strength. Sasaki sneered, naive Chinese. I am Aki Sasaki, the king of 100 demons. If you only have this little strength. He has been killed countless times. I suggest you kill her now. Aikawa Hirofumi suddenly spoke abruptly. Because he could see that the crazy woman was going to make a big move. And this stupid Chinese guy is still playing with others calmly. Oh well. Crack. Sasaki Aki is like a crushed tomato. Exploded. Li Mumu's main character is to listen to advice. Aikawa Hirofumi was speechless for a while. You Chinese people should not say at this time that you cannot believe what your enemies say. Why is it so neat? Ha ha ha, there's no way you can kill me. Sasaki's voice came out again. At the same time, the Rashomon gate composed of skeletons opened again. This time there were no longer just two ghost kings coming out. But Ibaraki Doji and Shuten Doji Otu. Countless ghost kings of all kinds and shapes followed closely behind. Sakura has too many monsters. It seems that there are 90 million ghosts and gods. Anyway, the grass on the roadside has become a spirit, so it must have a status. This is how Li Mumu recognizes it. But there was one with wings, a mask, and a red nose, probably called Tengu, and he knew this. As for the rest, sorry, I have limited knowledge. My Hyakuki Yako allows all the ghost kings one summon to resist death for me. When ghosts and gods die, I only need to consume a very small amount of life to resurrect them. I, Sasaki Aki, am invincible. Fortunately, she always carries a ghost king with her to take her place. Sasaki Aki looked crazy. Make an invincible shout. Really? Li Mumu admitted. Listen to it like this. His infinite closed-loop model is indeed quite invincible. If one day the real world and eternal life merge, the lifespan is consumed and the resurrection disappears. She is even more invincible. But invincibility is all relative. Can you use other ghost kings to offset your own death penalty? Then what if we strangle them all at once? Li Mumu finished speaking. Sasaki Aki and his invincible ghost kings instantly turned into a pool of blood. Li Mumu felt tired. This telepathy is so convenient. Because the conversion rate of others is only 0.01, they can only serve tea and water at most. But I am the transformation of 10,000. So powerful. Impossible, impossible, how can there be a monster like you? You couldn't even defeat the Bear King last time. With a flash of green light, Sasaki Aki was forcibly resurrected. She looked shocked and in disbelief. How could there be such a powerful person in this world? She doesn't believe it and can't accept it. Hey, Let's have a good chat and release King Bear. He, don't think you can defeat me. Sasaki didn't believe it. This level of attack, it can definitely only be activated once in a short period of time. The president of the Tyranny Guild said, I am familiar with this, and I thought the same way at the time. 100 Ghosts Night Parade. Sasaki opened the skeleton Rashomon again. Let her Ghost Kings come to the world again. Oh, what are you doing? Don't you know that the same moves are useless against saints? History repeats itself again. Impossible. This kind of attack, why can you release it continuously? Aki Sasaki came back to life again, holding her head in pain. Actually, I'm flat A. Lee Mumu squatted down and looked at Sasaki, who was on the verge of collapse. The show-off in his tone was undisguised. I don't believe it. Hyaki Yako. Crack. Impossible. Resurrection again. 100 Demons Night Parade. Crack. Impossible. I don't believe it. Aki Sasaki, with messy hair. Where is the high-spirited and confident look at the beginning? It's like a family that finds itself working hard to run a happy family. Suddenly one day I came home and found that my husband was having green with his best friend. Aikawa Hirobumi was very relieved to see this scene. It's not that I'm weak. But the enemy is too powerful. 100 Ghosts Night Parade. Hey, why don't you listen to my advice? Lee Mumu raised his hand. Is stubbornness also part of Sakura's tradition? Wait a minute, let me use my special move. Otherwise, I will never accept it. It looked like Lee Mumu was about to take action again. Sasaki Aki hurriedly stopped. Why should I listen to you? If this trick still doesn't work, I will release the Bear King. Aki Sasaki spoke in humiliation. As the sole professional. In the past, it was others who begged for mercy. When did I have such a humiliating day? He even gave himself no chance to release his skills. Today's humiliation, sooner or later, I will take revenge. Okay, since you begged me. Sasaki's request was exactly what Lee Mumu wanted. Although I called Brother Dog to come today. But he was just able to break formations and track. The Bear King has been captured, and there really is nothing he can do. The original plan was to kill old Biden until he became autistic. Okay, this is what you said. When Sasaki heard Lee Mumu agree, he sneered in his heart. Stupid Chinese people. It always prides itself on being a great country and a land of etiquette. For the sake of so-called etiquette, always give the enemy a chance. I will make you regret it. 100 Demons Night Parade. Summon Hyaki again, but this time Lee Mumu didn't take action. He would like to take a look. What kind of trump card does this Aki Sasaki have? Do you think you can make a comeback if you let go? 100 ghosts enter the body. Sasaki Mingshi saw that Lee Mumu did not take action. Sneered. You will pay the price for your arrogance. With the skill activated, the summoned 100 demons turned into streams of pure energy and surged towards Sasaki Aki. Every force entered her body. Her body will become stronger and some of the characteristics of the Ghost King will appear on her body. Ancestral fusion. Just a few breaths. Sasaki Aki's hundreds of Ghost Kings are all integrated into her body. At this moment, the woman in the hot attire disappeared. Instead, there is one. What can I say, an enhanced version of hatred. A super fusion of flesh and blood, with the faces of various Ghost Kings also engraved on it. One more look at it will make it lose its sanity. Ha ha ha, my strongest form, go to hell. The flesh and blood monster version of Sasaki becomes huge due to his size. The voice also became thicker. Lee Mumu said he was too lazy to listen. Jinfu Fist. The special skills that have not been used for a long time are back in the world. Basic strength 550 million. The Bear King head is strengthened 50 times. Reaching 27.5 billion. The Great Mercy and Great Compassion ring has been strengthened 5 times, reaching 137.5 billion. The Jealous Finger Tiger is strengthened 100 times, reaching 13.75 trillion. Martial Ancestors passive was strengthened 100 times again, reaching 1375 trillion. Attack with all your strength. Clash with the fists of flesh and blood monsters. It was like a bullet hitting a watermelon. Exploded instantly. The entire arm of the flesh and blood monster collided with Lee Mumu, including most of his chest. All turned into a rain of blood. Lee Mumu quickly put up a shield. Resist this rain of blood. although he is very handsome in close combat. It feels great to punch to the flesh. But in the future, we should just strangle such disgusting enemies to death with telekinesis. How disgusting. Blood and thick water flew everywhere. It reminded Lee Mumu of the time he used to pop pimples on his roommate. It's as big as your thumb. A squeeze. Launched directly. Brushed from his cheek. I used a bottle of facial cleanser afterwards, and I couldn't eat for a whole day. Nausea. As for Bailey Ching and Beishu, Sister Ching's burned space was distorting. Beishu took out a small umbrella from nowhere, and barely managed to avoid being accidentally injured. A Kawa great swordsman. Hee. Lee Mumu blocked him in front of him and faced the impact. What a man. I'm retching now. Impossible. Most of Sasaki Aki's body was lost after being beaten by Lee Mumu, and she could still see it from the parts where she could barely see where her eyes were. Full of disbelief, his 100 ghosts entered his body. It can be said to be her last big move. All Ghost Kings need to be sacrificed and integrated into her body in a short time. The attributes of all the Ghost Kings are superimposed together, and then doubled. The final 4-dimensional attributes are more than trillions. She once used this move to directly level a city to the ground. But now, he was actually punched in half by this unknown little character in front of him. Who is he? Is this the country of China? He is indeed Sakura's biggest enemy. But facing such an enemy, is Sakura really qualified to be his opponent? Sasaki Aki began to have doubts. Maybe it was a wrong choice to step into this land in the first place. Hey, do you have any other options? If you don't have me, I'll be your loser. Lee Mumu shouted. He has not forgotten that the main reason for doing this Sasaki is to make his thoughts clear. Haha, you win. Sasaki Aki closed her eyes and waited quietly for death. Lee Mumu was not polite when he saw this. Activate your mind. The power of 25,000 trillion can directly crush it into a ball of meat. This time she was not allowed to explode at will. Otherwise, the picture would be too beautiful, and Lee Mumu didn't know if he could bear it. The next moment, Sasaki Aki is resurrected again. In human form, it still looks quite pleasing to the eye. However, due to the transformation seen just now, the impression was too deep. I don't think she has a graceful figure at this moment. Release me, the Bear King, quickly. Sasaki Aki didn't waste any time and directly summoned the immortal mountain Bear King. Little cute king. When Lee Mumu saw the Bear King, he happily picked him up and held him high. Pervert. Go away. The Bear King of the immortal mountain wanted to push Lee Mumu away. Unfortunately, today is different from the past. Yesterday, he, Lee Mumu, is just a newbie with only a few 100,000 attributes. Today, he is different. He has transformed, and his basic attributes have reached hundreds of millions. It's so funny that I can't push it at all. Oh, don't be so angry. Didn't we fight each other passionately yesterday? You said I would save you, and I, Mr. Lee, came to save you without saying a word. Is this how you treat your savior? The more Lee Mumu talked, the more he felt that what he said made sense. I burst into tears, and later I even mentioned that I felt wronged. Hypocritically, he wiped the non-existent tears from his eyes. The Bear King of the Immortal Mountain has been locked in Sasaki's summoning space. I just figured out the situation. He looked at the battlefield. Then he looked at Lee Mumu who was holding him up. I felt that the restraint belonging to Sasaki in my body had disappeared. His eyes turned red. Thanks. The soft and cute loli said thank you with a tearful voice. On the contrary, it made Lee Mumu feel a little embarrassed at this time. I just like to help others, but if you really want to repay me, that's not impossible. I happen to be short of amount right now. I don't know what you think. Fun person. There is only one way to alleviate the embarrassment. Find another way to have fun. As Lee Mumu finished speaking, everyone in the audience looked at Lee Mumu with garbage eyes. No, we, the Bear Clan, have to fight for our freedom. Even if we are our saviors. King Shang said seriously. From the look on her face, it was obvious that she had given serious thought to being a mount. Ahem. Lee Mumu didn't know how to answer the topic at this time. Sure enough, sincerity is the greatest nirvana. But I can repay you by telling you a clue to a high-level profession. The Immortal Mountain turns its little head. She has no assets now. It seemed that this was the only thing that was useful to Li Mumu. Really? Li Mumu was surprised. Originally, the Mountain Bear King could not be saved. It's purely a matter of spontaneity. He didn't want any reward. His goal is to simply be a native of the motherland. If anyone is unhappy, beat them. Help whoever enjoys it. He never thought that good things would happen to him. Advanced professions are not as scarce as soul professions though. But each person can only transfer to 3 high-level professions. There are a few 6-door police officers and other public goods in the job transfer manual. Although he has the pot of lust, no matter how rubbish it is in his hands. All can be played with. But if it is a super high-level profession from the beginning, the starting point is high, and the upper limit is also much higher. Therefore, his attitude has always been that he would rather lack than waste. After all, he is just a newbie who has only been in the game for 2 days. Not too anxious. I didn't expect this to be delivered to my door. Well, my suppression is also related to this high-level profession. The immortal Mountain Bear King nodded solemnly. But coupled with her cute lowly face, people can't help but want to pinch her. Although I really don't want to interrupt you too, how should we deal with these 2 people? Bailey Ching looked at the imprisoned Sasaki and Aikawa and reminded Li Mumu. Forehead. Although Li Mumu wanted to just kill these 2 people. But looking at the numbers on their wrists, it's almost blinding. I'm afraid I'll have to work here for several days without eating or drinking. Once he leaves, no one will be able to suppress these 2. Crack, crack. Li Mumu was thinking about how to deal with the 2 of them. At the same time, he randomly strangled him to death several times to collect some interest. Sasaki looked completely indifferent and didn't care. Aikawa-san looked a little nervous. After all, his balance was not that sufficient. What to do with them? Since you're so troubled, why not leave it to us? Li Mumu turned his head and took a look. Ouch. Isn't this the well-known 13-person 12 Zodiac Idol trainee group? What do you say? Could it be that they are here to steal prey? Hey, don't get me wrong, we are not here to steal your prey. Li Mumu's strength is now expanding. Not confident enough. He doesn't hide his thoughts at all. Pheasant is an old man. Although he is always a waste with a sharp tongue. But you can still tell Li Mumu's thoughts at this moment at a glance. Originally, 5 of our 12 zodiac signs came this time, and we all deployed defenses in Mobe City. I didn't expect that you actually solved the problem from the source. It's really scary. Pheasant praised. If it weren't for local areas, it would cause a rain of blood. She and Chew Dog were still waiting stupidly. It's not that they don't want to go straight to the source. But Sasaki's strength is too strong. Then all of them will come and besiege. Sasaki only needed to release a few Ghost Kings to trap them. Other Ghost Kings spread throughout the city and started killing, but they were unable to do anything. Therefore, the most conservative strategy was adopted from the beginning. Yeah, if you can speak, speak more. Li Mumu said proudly. He deserves this. What's wrong with being praised? Ahem, you have also seen that it is quite troublesome to directly kill a unique profession in this game, and you have to lose so many lifespans, which is not cost-effective. Pheasant explained. Obviously she didn't know that Li Mumu was using an enhanced version of the resurrection formation at this time. Resurrection takes 1,000 years of life. Well, what then? Li Mumu also went down the slope. There is no deep hatred between him and these 2 little Sakuras. Did they have to die? It doesn't matter if he can be easily crushed to death. But if it's too much trouble, he won't bother. To deal with such high-level criminals, Xuanwu country has a special prison. It depends on whether you are willing to do so. Pheasant explained. Of course she was just suggesting. The final choice still rests with Li Mumu. For a master like Li Mumu, the bottom line in terms of policy is still quite low. As long as you don't harm the country. Then there is only one policy for you. Coaxing. Well, of course, this Sasaki is also on the bounty list. If you are willing to transfer him to prison, Xuanwu Kingdom can provide a bounty of 100,000 years of life. Okay. Hand it in. I never expected to handle these 2 things so well. When it was first said that he could be transferred to prison, Li Mumu was ready to hand him over. Unexpectedly, I just walked away. Didn't have time to reply immediately. I would like to mention a lifespan of 100,000 years. This kind of good thing cannot be missed. Okay, thank you for your cooperation. Pheasant didn't expect Li Mumu to agree so happily. I was ready to say the next words, but I didn't have time to say them yet. Immediately, he called for the dog and put the shackles only for professionals on Aikawa and Sasaki. You can limit the use of skills and the permanent weakening effect. At the same time, he paid Li Mumu with one hand and delivered the goods with the other, sending the pheasants and cud dogs away with a smile. Li Mumu murmured in his heart, "If you are so strong, why don't you win over yourself?" Not always in novels, once the national power discovers a super powerful person. Just keep wooing him, giving him all kinds of benefits, even giving him a house and a wife. How did Li Mumu know that when the Eternal Life game first appeared? This is indeed how the country treats outstanding talents. Unfortunately, I found out later that it didn't work very well. There are even some people who are powerful but have eccentric personalities, and these routines will only backfire. So the strategy was later changed. When facing powerful people, they will first enter the observation period. Those who can be contacted will try to contact them. Explore slowly as you like. If you are not easy to get in touch with, just follow the old rules, don't interfere, and coax if you can, as long as you are not antisocial and causing trouble. You are a good citizen of China. And he, Li Mumu. As soon as he debuted, he killed the well-known veteran strongman Sasaki. Pheasant didn't know how to respond for a while. I had to be conservative and try to get familiar with him first so as not to leave a bad impression. Hey, now that the matter is settled, I'm leaving. The police dog came back and flipped his hair wildly. Oh, okay brother dog, thank you brother dog. Li Mumu didn't hold him back, although brother Go didn't have much use as a backup man today. But what are you doing if you volunteer to help? HMPH, I will definitely chop you down next time I see you. Bai Li Qing snorted, someone else came to help today, it was not the right time to fall out. Now that the show is over, I'm leaving. I still have to fight for the great cause of the Goldenwood Society. After Beishu finished speaking, he also chased brother Go away. What about you, sister Qing? Li Mumu looked at Bai Li Qing. Anyway, his next itinerary is clear. Heading towards a high-level career. I want accounts, and then I make money, and I ask you to strengthen me. After all, the two of them had bet on a lifespan of 210,000 years in a gambling house. Gotta get it back first. From now on, Li Mumu's first goal will definitely be to change jobs and upgrade. But for Bai Li Qing, her primary goal is to make money and find Li Mumu to strengthen her and improve her strength. That's right. Let's go, cute king. My name is not King Meng. Human. Don't think that just because you saved me, we are familiar with each other. Yeah, I didn't bite my tongue. It's so cute. I'm so angry. Bai Li Qing just watched these two live treasures making trouble all the way to the entrance of the gambling house. Pity. Gambling houses opened their doors for business. He didn't give Li Mumu any chance to show off. Facing the end of the game, he honestly returned his lifespan in full. Hey, why don't you give me a chance to show off? Li Mumu expressed disappointment. With a sharp sword in hand, the murderous intention arises. My hands are so itchy that I always want to grab something. But his moral bottom line does not allow him to do anything random. Let's go, King Meng, take me to find that high-level profession. Li Mumu put his hand on King Bear's head and rubbed it. Don't tell me. Silky smooth. Say it again. Don't call me the cute king. The Bear King of the Immortal Mountain protested. It's a pity that under the comprehensive suppression of attributes, it has no effect. Sister Qing, are you coming together? Li Mumu rubbed Shang's head and looked at Bai Li Qing. I won't go. I still need to raise money to strengthen it with you. Bai Li Qing refused. After all, she was just Li Mumu's job now. Okay, then you have enough private me. Li Mumu didn't force it. Anyway, being with Sister Qing is just a way to relieve boredom. Now it's not bad all the way with the Bear King. Moreover, Bai Li Qing is still oppressed by herself. You must know that the external publicity has always been to strengthen the 100-year start, and there is also a handling fee. Hee, make a lot of money. Little cute king, let's go find a high-level profession, hee. Li Mumu looked at the immortal mountain bear king with an increasingly lewd look. I told you. No. Shu. Call me Meng King. The cute king of Immortal Mountain had an angry face and corrected Li Mumu word by word. Humans. I don't know what kind of shit luck happened to me. He has become so strong. He was known for his strength, but he couldn't resist him at all. Don't worry about those details, little cute king, tell me the details of high-level professions. Li Mumu is a fun person. Teasing others is also one of the sources of happiness. How could it be possible to just change it at the drop of a hat? I know I'm wrong, but I don't change it. Beat me if you don't obey. HMPH, tell me, don't be scared to death. This advanced profession is called Freeze Man. The cute king of the Immortal Mountain raised his little head and proudly told him about the advanced professions he knew. How about it? Be afraid. Are you shocked by this advanced profession? No more. That's it. Li Mumu sounded disappointed. Listen to what other people's advanced professions are called. Fire Mist Warrior. That proud look on your face that you're about to praise me for, is this what you're talking about your profession? Freeze Man. Why don't you talk about people with ALS? Low level. You. Do you understand this at all? The cute king was anxious. How come this person doesn't know what he's selling? But this frozen man sounds really bad, teacher. Li Mumu frowned. Suddenly he lost interest in this advanced profession. Freeze doesn't sound cool at all. HMPH. Do you know how the ice soul hell was formed? Isn't it because of you? Li Mumu murmured, could it be that the version he heard was fake? HMPH, I have that ability, how can I still be sealed by that despicable Fire Mist Warrior? So, what do you mean, this advanced profession is more powerful than the Fire Mist Warrior? Li Mumu's eyes lit up. Immediately interest arose. He still knew the strength of Baileiqing's Fire Mist Warriors. You must know that he is now worth over 100 million, and standing next to Baileiqing, he can feel the heat wave. Normally speaking, with his current physique, he would not tolerate water that is not warm enough when soaking his feet in lava. Fire Mist Warrior, huh, that's nothing but rubbish, if it wasn't for plotting against me. At this point, the cute king gritted his teeth again. In short, the Fire Mist Warrior is not worthy of carrying the Freeze Man's shoes. Wow, so powerful. Come on, take me on a mission. Li Mumu became excited when he heard this. Such a dick. If you strengthen your 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 skills. Don't dare to think. He is so strong that he even fears it. Let's go back to the Ice Soul Hell first. Yes, but I have a grudging request. Li Mumu suddenly became a little nervous. What? That's the one. Can you change back to your true form and let me ride you? Li Mumu's eyes were sincere. Please, there is a super giant mount. It's really cool, isn't it? Go to hell. The cute king of Immortal Mountain heard Li Mumu's request and slapped Li Mumu on the head. Not only did it not cause any harm to Li Mumu, it also made his hand hurt so much. Then he turned around angrily and walked away. Do you like this profession? Hey, you really can't satisfy me. Li Mumu quickly caught up. How cool is the King of Knights riding the King of Dragons? There is a throne placed on the Dragon King's head, and the B slot is filled up immediately. If the cute king of the Immortal Mountain is willing, he can put a small palace on the back of the Bear King. Pity. 2 people. No, 2 men with bare heads, one tall and one short, were walking on the road. As for why it is used. Because the cute king of the Immortal Mountain is unwilling to be a mount. Li Mumu is now extremely agile and expresses his intention to carry King Meng with him. But Meng Wang would rather die than obey, saying that once the clues are given to him, he will stay away from the pervert Li Mumu. So at this moment, Li Mumu had no choice but to follow the movement speed of the cute king and walk slowly. Hee, daddy has prey coming. Li Mumu relied on his super high 4-dimensional attributes to hear a man calling him daddy. Immediately I became interested, and I pricked up my ears to listen to the movement in that direction. Oh, as expected of the boss, have you found out the details? Dad, don't worry, there are only 2 of us, and they don't even have a mount. They look like novices at first glance, and there is no way they can compete with our brothers. Well, in that case, this vote is done. Li Mumu heard this. Good guy, Father and son go into battle, right? Sorry, Li Mumu is new here. They also regard eternal life as an online game. The father takes his son to play games together, letting him see his original world, but it can be trending. Stop! A man rushed out and shouted. Then more than 10 people walked out from behind the trees. Finally, 4 men came out carrying a chair. There was an extremely fat man sitting on the chair. The kind that is so fat that you can hardly see where your arms and legs are. After carrying the man out, everyone bowed to the man. Father as well. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Li Mumu was shocked. He thought you had a father and son inside. It's your son who co-authored all of this, right? Hi. I drive this way. Ha. I planted this tree. HMPH. I want to pass by here. Okay. Stop talking, I understand, I understand. Li Mumu raised his hand and strangled the 3 shouting idiots to death. Look at the man slumped in the chair. Are these your sons? There's no way, he's too curious. The man who was slumped in the chair saw that his 3 most powerful sons were killed instantly. I was also surprised. Then there wasn't much expression. After all, they are in this line of work. It is normal to sometimes make a mistake and offend the wrong person. But anyway, it means dying once and deducting 10 years of life. There won't be any scenes that scare you to the point of pissing you off. Relative to the probability of successful robbery, you can fully afford the loss of 1 or 2 failures. HMPH, there's nothing to say. We offended the wrong person today. Let's do it. So he can speak forcefully. Hey, you make me look stupid like this. Li Mumu said. He took out the array plate that Bai Li Qing prepared for him, so that he could use it without Bai Li Qing's operation. However, the price that needs to be paid has changed from 20 years of life required to resurrect a person to 100 years. 1 button start. People who begin to die now can only be resurrected nearby. And each time a lifespan of 1,000 years is deducted. Under normal circumstances, Li Mumu would not use this thing. After all, I didn't make any money, so the gains outweighed the losses. Do you know this in situ resurrection formation? Li Mumu looked at the man proudly. Humph, we know each other, so what? The man glanced at it and expressed disdain. This thing is not a rare thing. If you kill 1,000 enemies, you will only lose 2,000. He didn't believe that some idiot would use such a thing for a roadside robber like him. It seems you don't recognize me. Li Mumu used his telekinesis to lift a man. Crack, the familiar sound effect of tomatoes exploding. The man exploded on the spot. For this kind of hunter, Li Mumu has no psychological burden at all when pinching him. It seems like your formation isn't working. The man lying on the chair mocked. His 13th son, the man who had just been randomly crushed by Li Mumu, was not resurrected nearby. It seems that this formation is still a fake and shoddy product. What poor devils are you here trying to rob, and you don't even have 1,000 years to live? Li Mumu sighed. Then he mentioned the man directly. It took a lot of effort to find his wrist. 3000 plus year life balance. Can be killed. Crack. A flash of resurrection light flashed. The man is resurrected. Look at the life balance before you speak. Li Mumu reminded. Plop. The man knelt down. Maybe he was kneeling down. After all the fat on his body was dragged on the ground, and you couldn't see whether his legs were kneeling or squatting. Uncle, I was wrong. If you need anything, just ask me. I'll fight to the death. After saying that, the man banged his head and hit the ground. He didn't dare to look up at Li Mumu. Bang bang bang. A series of kowtows. All the men's sons also knelt down, their heads almost hitting the ground. Hey, why bother? I actually just want to know that these people are all your sons. The original plan was this. But now they look so skilled. Most of them killed many people. Heroes are done every day. Today it was his turn, Mr. Li. Sir, my talent is in the name of my father. I can strengthen it for anyone who calls me their father. The man explained honestly. I have such a talent. It was an eye-opener for Li Mumu. It's really a knife in the ass and an eye-opener. After all, it was he, Li Mumu, who underestimated this game of immortality. Immediately strangled everyone to death. Well, this man who loved being a father killed him twice. He lost nearly 20,000 years of life. It hurts. Why did you say you had nothing to do with me? Originally, it was good that we did not interfere with the river. If you jump out and don't deal with you, your conscience will be a bit hard for you. Little cute king. Let's go on. Wait a moment. Li Mumu looked at King Meng in confusion. Don't you want a mount? King Meng looked at Li Mumu, his eyes shining with clear light. Has your daughter finally grown up and understood the hardships of being a father? Are you going to go back to your original form? Li Mumu was overjoyed when he heard this. Could it be that this little cute king was moved by his heroic and decisive attack just now? I finally figured it out and wanted to fulfill myself. Zhou Kai. Don't forget that I can't turn into bones. The cute king threw out 4 drops of blood with a look of disgust. Blood flew into the 4 corpses. Then he saw 4 corpses standing up unsteadily after absorbing the blood. The 4 corpses ran over to carry the huge chair just now. He ran to Li Mumu and stopped in front of him. Dad, please. Quote question mark question mark question mark question mark quote. Ahem, they will retain some of their habits when they were alive. There's nothing we can do about it. The cute king explained a little embarrassedly. That's not what she wanted to shout. In ancient times, there was Emperor Yi Tian carrying the coffin with 9 dragons. Today, I, Li Mumu, have 4 corpses carrying the sedan. It's such a bad situation. Li Mumu sat on it without ceremony. Why stand when you can sit? Why sit when you can lie down? Comfortable. Little cute king, why don't you come up? Li Mumu extended an invitation. Heaven and earth can prove that he has absolutely no wrong thoughts. This chair is really too spacious. Previously, when an obese man landed, the fat on his body made it impossible to see his feet. It is conceivable that his car must be a luxury car. For Li Mumu, this thing is almost like a bed. Don't want. Prince Meng righteously refused. She doesn't want to. She wants to be free. It was originally sealed for 300 years and has just been unsealed. Nothing has been done yet. He was imprisoned by that woman Sasaki somewhere. At this moment, she cherishes the feeling of being able to walk freely on the earth. Hey, I don't know how to enjoy my life. Li Mumu said regretfully. Just lay down on the XL chair. Set off. Fortunately, the cute king is incapable of turning into bones. Even random zombies. He's not the kind of little Mao Zong who can only jump around. Instead, they are advanced zombies with flexible limbs. Although it's a little wobbly, it's still comfortable. Li Mumu, who had not slept for 2 days, began to fight with his eyelids. After a while he fell into sleep. Wake up. Ah. Li Mumu opened his eyes again. Why do I feel like I just squinted? Time flies so fast. We've arrived. The zombies in front can't get in. The cute king explained. Li Mumu took a quick look and saw that the 4 corpses had turned into ice sculptures. And his own body is already many times stronger than when he came yesterday. No feeling at all. Let's go. Li Mumu jumped off the chair and signaled to the cute king. The 2 of them quickly arrived at the place where the cute king was sealed. Obviously I just came here yesterday. Somehow, it actually gave Li Mumu a feeling of being in another world. Why? The cute king looked at this and sighed. I have been sealed here for 300 years. Just after the lockdown was lifted, he was arrested again. The man in front of me can be said to have saved him twice. I told him this secret that I had guarded for many years. Hope it's not wrong. The clues to Frozen Man's profession are under this layer of ice. The reason why this ice soul hell became like this is because of that thing. Prince Meng pointed to the place where she was sealed. Understood. Look at me. Li Mumu shook his arms. It's time to show off your real skills. Adjust the fingers of both hands. Make your exertion more comfortable. Jinfu fist. Click. The place where the cute king was originally sealed. It's at the bottom of a glacier canyon. At this time, Li Mumu punched with all his strength, directly turning the entire canyon into a bottomless pit. Didn't think much about it. Li Mumu jumped in directly. The cute king also followed closely behind. The closer you get to the thing that the cute king is talking about. Instead, the temperature got warmer. Li Mumu used his mind power to land smoothly. Look at this. This cocoon. Is this what it is? That's right, 10,000 years ice silkworm. The cute king looked serious. Don't tell me that the way to change jobs is to eat this thing. Li Mumu looked horrified. If that's really the case. He refuses. Even if it is a super powerful high-level profession, he refuses. What are you thinking? If it were that simple, I would say it's just a clue. The cute king looked at Li Mumu with an expression that looked like a fool. Have you been saved twice by this kind of person? Too abstract. This 10,000-year-old ice silkworm is a stillborn fetus. It was trapped in a cocoon due to lack of energy during the process of transforming into a butterfly. Shaking his head, Meng Wang continued to explain to Li Mumu. Then what use does he have now? Can he use this ice silk to make a pair of underwear? Li Mumu's thoughts began to wander. Don't tell me, it's really good. Underwear made of this material must be very cool. If I can't beat you, I will definitely open your skull and see what's inside. The cute king gritted his teeth, trying not to get angry. What the hell is going on with this guy? Is there ever a serious time? He was obviously talking about something very important. Hey, keep going, keep going. Li Mumu smiled and didn't care. What can I do? If I have the strength, I can't be more presumptuous. You need to take this cocoon to the fountain of life, and then use the powerful vitality to awaken the butterfly transformation function of this cocoon. Yeah, what next? Eat the transformed butterfly. Li Mumu interrupted. After all, the way the protagonist uses these natural and earthly treasures is to use them in his mouth. Li Mumu felt that his analysis was reasonable. The cute king took a deep breath. I will endure. This 10,000-year-old ice silkworm is already dead and cannot transform into a butterfly. What you need is the source of his power, the freezing rule. After activation, you are the one who needs to transform into a butterfly. Oh, that sounds so reasonable. Okay. Leave as soon as you know. Leave me alone. Free time, I'm coming. The cute king waved to Li Mumu. Aren't you coming along? Li Mumu looked at King Meng, blinking his eyes. Do you have any common sense? I am not a bone. The spring of life is in the ancient forest. The rich breath of life there can make me vomit just by getting close to it. I won't go. The cute king roared. This person is really annoying. Okay, I've given you the clue. I'm going out. After being trapped here for so many years, I'm going to go out and wander. After the cute king finished speaking, he bent his legs and jumped, flying upward. Be careful not to get caught again. You may not meet a nosy person like me next time. Li Mumu shouted to King Meng. It was an accident last time. The voice of the cute king came back. Li Mumu smiled knowingly. It's just a pity that such a cute mount is gone. But where is this ancient forest? Li Mumu put the cocoon of the 10,000-year ice silkworm into his backpack. Prepare to go offline and check where this ancient forest is. Offline. Return to the shabby hut. Well, not even a computer. He took out his mobile phone and searched for terms related to the ancient forest. Hometown of elves, ancient forest. The years when I was a son-in-law in the ancient forest. Rebirth of the ancient forest. I am a Tauren. The elf queen announces that the ancient forest will never welcome environmentally friendly girls. The environmental protection girl said that the elves living in the ancient forest are destroying the forest. Asking for a team, go to the ancient forest to capture the elves and fight against the forest guards. He spent a lot of money to acquire elves from the ancient forest. Warning, be careful when going to catch elves in the ancient forest recently. Browse them one by one. Li Mumu also roughly understood what this place was. Say it in easy to understand terms. It is the largest autonomous region of the elves. It is located in the southwest of Xuanwu Kingdom, with a small country called the Principality of Lina in the middle. Well, compared to Xuanwu Kingdom. Another thing is that the environment of the ancient forest is good enough. The elves here have the highest appearance compared to the elves in other areas. Popular with traffickers. Basically, if you catch one, you will gain a lifespan of 10,000 years. Whether it is the natives in the immortal game or the player group, there is a market. Especially after players enter the game. Hunting has become increasingly rampant in the past 3 years. So the current favorability of elves towards humans is extreme hatred. Hey, it's troublesome. Li Mumu muttered. Are you going to force your way in like a robber and strangle everyone who doesn't like it? Li Mumu was a little difficult to deal with. Although he is completely capable of doing it. But in his outlook, he doesn't want to be a person who does whatever it takes to achieve his goals. He still has a heroic dream. And according to the news, the elves in the ancient forest have gone crazy recently. Totally like a mad dog. He attacks people relentlessly whenever he sees them. There must be a road before the car reaches the mountain, no matter what. Lee Mumu's mind sank into the tattoo on his wrist. Log in again. At his current speed, it would only take him a few minutes to run back to the city at full speed. Next, I have to go abroad. You need to make a map, and the second step is to arrange mounts. Open the auction house. Purely handmade Green Devil flying skateboard. Modeled after the appearance of Green Goblin's flying skateboard. It uses an anti-gravity system and a nuclear power system, with a maximum flight speed of Mach 5. The auction reserve price is 10,000 years of life, and the fixed price is 150,000 years of life. You can't leave negative reviews lying around. Yulong egg. Recognize its owner after hatching. It will be capable of manned flight in 6 months, with a maximum flight speed of Mach 1. Flying magic carpet. A magical hand-woven rug, a symbol of gorgeous status. The maximum flight speed is Mach 3. Steel mammoth. A mammoth, an exotic beast cultivated with steel. It has steel-like defense and a maximum sprint speed of Mach 0.02. 99% kinetic energy conversion bicycle. Bikes with additional rules. 99% of kinetic energy conversion can be completed, and the maximum speed depends on the driver's strength and physique. Lee Mumu's eyes lit up when he saw this bicycle. However, he chose the mount for comfort and pretentiousness. Exclude. Read on. Nuclear-powered warship. Fully intelligent small spacecraft. Superman experience set. Magic broom. Shongyan. Saucy pig. Fire horse. Formula racing cart deformable. Hey, this works. As he kept scrolling, Lee Mumu's eyes suddenly lit up. 1000G snake. A perfect fusion of machinery and flesh and blood. You can assemble various parts at will to achieve 3-dimensional use on land, water and air. It is 25 meters long and is a semi-mechanical life form. It does not need to eat, but it can eat various high-energy products and recharge itself automatically. The maximum land crawling speed is Mach 0.1. The maximum speed of swimming in water is Mach 0.2. The maximum speed of air flight is Mach 1. None of the data is outstanding. So the price in the auction house is not high. The starting price is 3,000 years of life, and the fixed price is 10,000 years of life. Lee Mumu didn't hesitate and took it at the same price. It took him 20,000 years to kill a few scumbags. I don't care about this little money at all. As for why I didn't choose one among so many cool mounts with a lifespan of over 100,000. Why did you choose this one? Of course, on the one hand, it is convenient and versatile. The second is the turn of the pot of desire to perform. Come out, pot of lust. Oh, my most beloved master is summoned by you. Okay, shut up. Then take out the summoning device of 1000 machine snake. Whether to bind. Take out the summoning device. It automatically asked Lee Mumu if he would bind a mount. Yes. Binding successful. Qianji Snake number 9527, being released. 10, 9, 8. Rumble. With the sound of countdown. Lee Mumu raised his head and looked towards the source of the sound. I saw a huge unmanned carrier aircraft flying over with a container. Bang. The drone dropped the container in front of Lee Mumu. This seller has something good. Lee Mumu sighed. I don't know what it's like to buy other mounts. Anyway, this 1000 machine snake only gave him a summoning device. At first he thought that if he whistled, the mount would automatically form under his crotch. Unexpectedly, it was delivered by drone, which was very reasonable. Immediately, the container's hatch opens. A large amount of liquid nitrogen escapes. Qianji Snake 9527 is powered on, iris recognition is in progress. A mechanical sound sounded. Lee Mumu saw a flash of green light in the dim container. A giant mechanical snake crawled out. Feel a little scared. Things like snakes still feel a bit oppressive to him. Confirm the identity of the binder, the verification is successful. Qianji Snake 9527 is at your service. The giant snake lowered its head. Although this giant snake is 25 meters long, the riding area is still relatively crowded. Now that the binding is successful. The pot of lust. Get to work. Obey my master. Hey, Tui. Lifespan 1 year. The 1000-machine snake is strengthened into a mechanical python. Mechanical python. A perfect fusion of machinery and flesh and blood. You can assemble various parts at will to achieve 3-dimensional use on land, water and air. It is 55 meters long and is a semi-mechanical life form. It does not need to eat, but it can consume various high-energy products and recharge itself automatically. The maximum land crawling speed is Mach 0.5. The maximum speed of swimming in water is Mach 1. The maximum speed in air flight is Mach 5. Compared to the 1000-machine snake, the mechanical python is only more than twice as long. But the width has actually increased a lot. Lee Moomoo's riding experience has changed from a small workstation bench to a comfortable lazy sofa. Let's go out of the city. Lee Moomoo gave the order. Mainly because I strengthened the equipment before, no matter how strong it is, it still remains the same. But this mount. Look. Body shape changes a lot. The anti-gravity system inside the mechanical python operates instantly. At the same time, the injection devices in various parts of the body also work together. Woohoo, take off. Lee Moomoo said the ride experience is quite comfortable. At the same time, the smart AI also told Lee Moomoo that he could choose a mode. There are stable mode, off-road mode and rocking mode. If you are not satisfied with the default options, you can also set them yourself. After a while, the mechanical python took Lee Moomoo and flew out of the city. Well, it's almost done here, come again. Strengthen. Lifespan minus 10 years. Mechanical python strengthened into Titan battleship Anaconda. Lifespan 100 years. The Titan battleship Anaconda is enhanced into an interstellar shuttle dragon. Lifespan 1000 years. Interstellar shuttle dragon strengthened into aviation battleship dragon. Lifespan 10,000 years. Aviation battleship dragon strengthened into space Great Wall Dragon King. Great Space Wall Dragon King. It adopts the most advanced technology and the fusion product of starry sky beasts. The internal space has been transformed to accommodate tens of thousands of people fighting at the same time. The body length is 108,000 meters. Supports sub-light speed flight in the normal universe. In the atmosphere, sublight speed cannot be reached due to air resistance and acceleration length limitations. If not summoned, it will automatically return to space to absorb cosmic energy and replenish energy. What the hell are you calling cards? What the hell is aura? This Great Space Wall Dragon King is just hovering in this sky. It will become cloudy immediately. Lee Moomoo was immersed in joy. Completely unaware. Such a huge creature suddenly appeared outside the city. What impact will it have? Report. Why are you in such a panic? Report to the Lord of the city. A divine dragon suddenly appeared in the sky outside the western suburbs of the city. What? What are you doing for food? Why didn't you observe it in advance? The city lord slapped the table and stood up suddenly. What's going on in Mobay City recently? One trouble after another. The city lord, I'm so tired. Start the city defense formation immediately and enter the first level of combat readiness. The guards will follow me immediately. At the same time, many players and NPCs in Mobay City also saw this steel dragon. Many natives began to kneel down and worship on the spot, shouting, "Dragon King bless you, Dragon King bless you." Of course the players also started a carnival. All those with strength came out of the city. For those without strength, the Dragon King of the Great Space Wall is big enough for them to film from a distance and post videos on the internet to gain traffic. Shock. A divine dragon appears in Mobay City. Is it the new world boss? When you see this dragon, your wish comes true. Dragon invasion. What dragon clan has been updated? Why was Jongbei dumped by his senior sister? Why did senior Jongbei fall in love with him? The first wave of approaching players. The closer. The more I was shocked by the hugeness of the Dragon King of the Great Space Wall. Although according to the body length of the Great Wall Dragon King, it is 108,000 meters. With a body width of more than 300 meters, his figure can only be considered slender. But if it is an individual person, more than 300 meters, the length of 3 football fields connected together. Many players who were not in Mobay City also saw this shocking scene through the live broadcast. The giant steel dragon soars into the sky. The shock level brought by this is comparable to that of a steel disc hovering in the air. My god, this giant beast is actually a mechanical creation. By the way, does Murong Shi, the Air King who is known as the strongest in aerial combat, have any trouble with this thing? Nonsense, of course it's King Kong. This dragon just looks like a bluff. Let's just talk nonsense upstairs. Murong Zai's aerial battleship is not enough to fill the teeth of this thing. I don't think it's easy to say. Although this thing looks like it has a lot of mechanical structures, it still has many biological characteristics if you look closely. I don't think it has a good chance of winning against a machine that has no pain at all. Yo yo yo, the king of understanding is here. Understand the king. I think he is just licking the king. How many years have Murong Shi been flattered by you? How did you know my wife was going to blow? It's so cool, it's worthy of being the sacred beast of my great cold underworld. Quote. Li Mumu was unaware of the heated discussion in the live broadcast room at this time. Instead, he happily studied this new big toy. The internal space was originally designed to serve as a huge military warehouse. But he has no need for this. Fortunately, biotechnology products can be modified at will. At this moment he is designing his new car. First of all, the throne on the dragon's head must be retained. And it must be big and magnificent. After all, the Dragon King's forehead is 400 to 500 meters wide. If it is too small, others will think it has a louse. Think of this. Li Mumu's eyes suddenly lit up. Immediately, Li Mumu's order was issued. A steel Mayan pyramid rises. At the top of the pyramid, a huge golden throne is generated. Li Mumu sat on it. Suddenly, a kind of heroic spirit that looked down on the world rushed into my heart. I come, I see, I conquer. Sitting on the head of the Dragon King of the Great Wall. We are in an altitude of 10,000 meters. Mobe City, not far away, also became smaller at this time. It seems like you can put it in your hand and play with it. Ding, after receiving the master's command, do you want to activate the conquest command? Following Li Mumu's pretentious quotes casually. The intelligent AI of the Dragon King of the Great Space Wall suddenly popped up asking. Hey, don't. Li Mumu quickly stopped. He doesn't want to be a conqueror. How tiring. He just wants to be a player who ignores the rules. It's important to do whatever you want. Being a leader is tiring and troublesome, and you have to be responsible for your subordinates. He just wants to eat beef noodles without beef. The order of conquest is suspended. We detected an armed unit approaching, should we intercept it? In fact, there is no need for the Great Wall Dragon King to remind me. Li Mumu also felt someone approaching. No, let's see what they want to do. Li Mumu looked at the group of people flying over with interest. Did a pyramid just grow out of this dragon's head? Well, there seems to be another person. Young master, are we still close? The crowd of people flying over were all centered on a young man, faintly forming a protective formation. At this moment, no matter where the attack came from, someone could immediately block it for the boy. Get closer, I just happen to know the owner of this dragon. The boy was stepping on a green devil flying skateboard. However, the color scheme has been changed to blue and gold. As several people approached, this young master originally maintained his own identity and wanted to land at the top of the pyramid. Unfortunately, after getting closer, I found that the entire pyramid was wrapped in an energy shield. You can't even get close. I had no choice but to land at the bottom of the tower. Yi family in the capital, Yi Feng came to visit. Yi Feng could feel that this dragon was the master. There should be no hostility towards himself and others, otherwise the strength of himself and others should not be able to land on this dragon head so easily. Come up, Li Mumu spoke. Originally, he himself didn't care. These people can just land on the highest point. Compared to a child like the original person, he has already been struggling in society for several years. As for things like face, he knew that the more he didn't have it, the more he would emphasize it. After gaining strength, I don't care much about this kind of thing. But the Dragon King of the Great Space Wall disagrees. He believes that as his master, the world should give him enough respect. So an air defense field was imposed near here. As a result, Yi Feng and others could only come up on foot. But fortunately, they are all high-end games. I still have some physical strength. After Yifeng and others climbed up the pyramid, they saw Li Mumu's young face. Showed a look of surprise. Then he smiled heartily. My dear, Yifeng, I have met Master Li. Aunt Li. When Li Mumu heard it, he wondered what the name was. Don't think I have a good temper. Ahem, Master Li misunderstood. Your grace in the arena was very impressive. Yifeng cupped his hands and smiled. I originally thought about who could control this dragon. When I came up, I saw it was Master Li. You know me. Only then did Li Mumu realize. That's what Li Dashan calls himself. And listening to this, he seems to be angry. Ha ha ha, Master Li doesn't know yet, but the video of you instantly killing Sakura Sword Master is now #1 on the hot search list. Li Mumu heard this. Then let the Dragon King open the relevant entries. The world is full of all kinds of high technologies, and there must be internet. But Li Mumu didn't have the relevant equipment before. So I went offline to check. But now there is Dragon King, a big toy that has developed to the space level. Isn't it a trivial matter to watch a video? A mysterious man appears in the arena, killing the sword master like a dog. Who is that man? The only new profession, kill the sword master instantly. The only new one, Master Li Mumu. The only new recruit is actually a newbie. Kneel down and ask for the contact information of Master Li. Strength comparison between Li Mumu and Zeus. The emergence of a new unique in China, is it a crisis or a challenge to China? Sure enough, as soon as the relevant entries were opened, there are thousands of related videos. For this network society, there is no privacy at all. Even Li Xiaochen's relevant information was dug out. But I heard that when the relevant media came to interview her, they did not find Li Xiaochen herself. So you're looking for me. After reading the relevant news, Li Mumu raised his eyes and looked at Yifeng of the Yi family. Well-known surname. Countless great emperors have come from our ancestors. My tribe and I were originally stationed in Mobe City. This giant dragon appeared in the sky just now. I came to investigate out of curiosity. I didn't expect to meet you, great god Li. Yifeng said this and quietly looked at Li Mumu who was sitting on the throne. I wonder if the great master can leave a friend position for me. Our Yi family is willing to pay 100,000 years of life to buy it. Li Mumu heard this. His eyes lit up. Is there any benefit to being famous? It's right if you think about it carefully. Although the internet has been speculating about what his sole career is. In fact, he only has 3 ordinary professions, not even high-level professions. But if he can kill the only profession in an instant, why can't he be regarded as the only profession in the calculation of combat power? Ahem, this is it. 150,000 years. Our Yi family is willing to give us 150,000 years of life to buy your friend's status. Hear Li Mumu's hesitation. Yifeng quickly increased the price. The tribesmen next to him wanted to stop him, but they were glared back by Yifeng. Although the price of 150,000 years is very uneconomical for a friend with only one profession. But that is generally the only occupation. And what about Master Li in front of him? I have already exhausted all the information on the internet, and I have just turned 18. Plus this mount is no less powerful than the only profession. Can this be the only ordinary profession? This is just a shining thigh. As long as he embraces this thigh, his position in the family will be more stable. As for the position of the head of the family, it was something I could even think about 3 years ago. Now, perhaps as long as the family is not destroyed, the head of the family will not change. Hey, since you are so sincere, I will reluctantly add it. Of course, the lifespan given away must be continued. What's more, it's just a friend position. At most, if Yifeng asks me for help in the future, he can get a discount. Thus, after getting a high-level profession, you can directly strengthen it in a wave of 6 consecutive rounds, directly strengthening it to the 100,000-year level. As for Li Mumu's lack of lifespan, naturally, it is lacking. Regarding the reselling in the trading house, he had felt it since the last reselling. The increase in the price of the auction was smaller for the more high-end equipment. The less benefit he can get, and the more troublesome it becomes. But if you find this kind of unjust financial owner directly, he now has a top piece of equipment. Basic attribute bonuses amount to millions. I just need to tell him that I can strengthen this piece of equipment. Properties can be enhanced 10 times. This piece of equipment can be turned into equipment with a basic attribute bonus of 10 million. Charge yourself a million-year cost fee. Not too much. Well, since you are so sincere, it would seem stingy of me not to give you some benefits. Li Mumu coughed twice, thinking about how to cheat Yi Feng into giving him more life. The master is joking. Yi really wants to make friends with the master. Yi Feng smiled. This statement is sincere. After all, hugging your thighs is a long-term process. Although everyone knows it well. But it would be too utilitarian to reveal his true intentions. Impact points will be deducted. My talent can deduct lifespan and strengthen equipment. Li Mumu is good at tempting. Oh, this talent is pretty good. Our Yi family also has a gift-enhancing enshrinement. Yi Feng explained. I felt somewhat contemptuous in my heart. There are billions of people in the world. Although talents will not be repeated. But there are still many similar effects. Not to mention that the priest in his family had his talent sublimated 3 times. Each piece of equipment, after his strengthening, can increase its basic attributes by more than 30,000 points. Looking at the whole country of China, he is also the best. Oh, that person in your family can also strengthen equipment 10 times. Li Mumu was curious. After all, his time in the game was too short. I've only met a few people, and I really don't know much about them. But his strengthening talent should still be quite strong. The most important thing is that the enhanced equipment is just for him to make money. The most important thing is the strengthening of the profession. And his talent is only at stage 0 and has not yet been sublimated. Ahem, cough, master. Master, how much do you want to say? Yi Feng suddenly choked when he heard Li Mumu's words. Did he just hear it wrong? 10 times. 10 times. What's wrong? But depending on the basic attributes of the equipment, the lifespan consumed is different. Although to himself, the first strengthening period is 1 year. But he doesn't want to sit around and be strengthened every day. He needs to screen his target customers. Small customers who are under 100,000 years old can only say sorry. Master, are you sure it's 10 times? Is there no limit? Yi Feng only felt a little dry at this time. If it's just low-level equipment. Even if it is 10 times stronger. It's not as good as what his family worships. But if there are no restrictions, the top equipment can be strengthened 10 times. What is that concept? It's too scary to even think about. No, but I will charge a 10% handling fee for each enhancement. Since you and I are destined, I will give you a 20% discount. Li Mumu thought to himself, the handling fee is just a cover anyway. The bulk is still included in the cost, it doesn't matter if you don't charge it. When doing business, you must make the other party feel that you have made a profit. Master, please wait a moment. Yi Feng immediately took off the weapon from his body and handed it to Li Mumu. Master, do you think this equipment can be strengthened? Li Mumu took his weapon and checked it. Autumn Water Sword. Equipment requirements, Strength 8000. Agile 5000. Equipment effect, Strength plus 10000. Agility plus 8000. Mental strengthening, Strength plus 3000. Chushui, Sword speed plus 120%. Note, it is more compatible with Chu Shui sword technique. Comment. Pay attention to the fact that this is autumn water, not Chubo, let alone Lubor. Li Mumu took a look. The properties are mediocre. That mental enhancement should be the enhancement enshrined by his family. Why? At the same time, I sighed in my heart. If he hadn't awakened such a talent himself. It's really hard to get along in this world. Look at other people's big families. Looking at ordinary people, 30,000 attribute points may not be reached in a lifetime. Okay, the annual cost is 10,000 and the handling fee is 800, no problem. No problem, no problem. Yi Feng's face turned red and his breathing became rapid. It's like taking some kind of forbidden drug. Gosh. It can actually be strengthened. What is this concept? My Yi family is in high spirits, and I, Yi Feng, were in high spirits. Yi Feng quickly transferred his lifespan of 10,800 years to Li Mumu. Li Mumu didn't bother either. Summons the pot of desire. Give him a slap to shut him up first. Don't embarrass yourself in front of outsiders. Then he showed Yi Feng the properties of the new weapon covered in saliva. Chubo sword. Equipment requirements, Strength 8000. Agile 5000. Equipment effect, Strength plus 10000. Agility plus 80000. Mental strengthening, Strength plus 30000. Chushui, sword speed plus 600%. Note: the matching Chubo sword technique has not yet been released. Comment: okay, he is Chubao, but not Lu Bor. Yi Feng took the Chubo sword with rapid breathing, completely ignoring the saliva that filled the sword, caressing it carefully. It's like touching a stunning beauty. Weapons with attribute bonuses exceeding 200,000. Even their family cannot take it out easily. Even he, the young head of the family. It's also easy to see. Of course, the main reason is that the basic attributes are not up to standard. How about it? Do you want to strengthen it? This time the cost will be 100,000 years and the handling fee will be 8,000 years. Li Mumu looked at Yi Feng, who was intoxicated. He let out a devilish whisper and said seductively. As for capitalizing on the enemy, the equipment on his body is already worth hundreds of millions. If a rich man spends hundreds of millions on his lifespan, he will be the enemy of others. With a backhand, he strengthened all his equipment to the level of tens of billions. Who is afraid of whom? What? It can also be strengthened. Yi Feng's mind is full of 10 times enhancement. How do you know that there is no limit to what Li Mumu said? This does not mean that there is no limit to the quality of equipment. Rather, it means that there is no limit to the upper limit of enhancement. Of course, didn't you ask me if there were any restrictions? In fact, there are limits. Lifespan limit. Even if you can provide 100 million lifespans, what about 1 billion, what about 10 billion? Or even 100 trillion? Li Mumu estimated that at this stage, sacrifices to human beings around the world may not necessarily have such a long lifespan. Return, still 10 times. Yi Feng asked timidly. It's not that he's afraid of Li Mumu. But fear if this thing is true. I don't dare to think about it, I really don't dare to think about it. For the most part, yes. Li Mumu replied. At least that's most of what he encountered. But occasionally it happens that a super strong characteristic appears, and then the attribute points are not strengthened that much. Continue to strengthen. Yi Feng gritted his teeth and made up his mind. Although his lifespan is only a few 100,000 years. After just giving it to Li Mumu for 150,000 years, there isn't much left. But if Li Mumu didn't lie to him, this is a huge opportunity. Even with all the efforts of the whole family. Also hold this thigh firmly. As for threatening the master to do things for his family. Is your brain okay? Whoever has this kind of talent is the enemy of everyone. But if everyone can have it, then we can live in peace. 108,000 years of life, thank you for your patronage. Li Mumu showed a kind smile. What a good man. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.